The Ink and Paint Club podcast is intended for mature audiences. I know we're usually talking about kids' cartoons and stuff, but there's going to be naughty language. Anyway, listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to the Ink and Paint Club podcast, your weekly home for animation reviews and discussions.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Ink and Paint Club podcast, the first show of 2019. Oh my god.
It's time to go back to the future.
I don't know. Yes, this is the Ink and Paint Club podcast. We are a cartoon shenanigery talkery podcast. I am your host, JD. With me today is always my ginger cohort, Mr. Kyle.
I'm the cohort.
You sure are.
Yeah.
And the lovely Mr. Dustin is here as well.
I'm the blowhort.
Okay, sure.
Whoa.
I don't know what that means, but it,
Okay, sure.
I was trying to set up a funny thing where I rhymed.
All right.
But I couldn't think of anything.
So yeah, this is our first show of 2019, and what better way to start off the new year than by looking back at last year?
Yes.
That's what people do,
what
right?
What better way? Let's talk about what better ways there are to do that.
Exactly. So yeah, usually last couple of years we've done a show where we take a look back at the previous year's major animated feature movies, and then do another show where we look ahead in the year to the upcoming movies. This year we're combining those into one show because we forgot to do a show last week.
Should all acquaintance be forgot?
Yeah, so...
See, it's New Year's.
Totally. So yeah, for the first half of this show, we're going to be talking about the 2018 major theatrical animated feature movies.
2018, been there, done that.
I know, right? It's old hat now. So yeah, we're just going to go through these movies, kind of just give short opinions on it. There's a handful of them we haven't seen, so those will kind of be...
About half of them.
Yeah. I'm going to say 2018 was kind of a mediocre year for animated films on the whole.
Are these all the animated movies that came out this year?
No, these are the ones I have written down here are more just kind of the major ones. There were a few that I omitted, like there was that Sergeant Stubby movie that came out that I just...
Sergeant Stubby.
It was Sergeant Stubby, an American hero.
That's a good name.
And then there was like this stupid like Duck Goose movie that came out that I completely forgot about until I looked up the Wikipedia.
Starring
Jim Gaffigan.
What's his name? Jim Gaffigan. He's a funny man.
I like Jim Gaffigan, but that film looked very forgettable. So
it sure did.
Yeah, so the ones I have written down are more of the major releases. And there's a few of them on here that we did see that we didn't actually do a review for. So actually, I think
we
there's
did
only
see
one
a
on
few
here.
of these.
What?
Oh, which one? Which one did you not do a review?
I think we had meant to do a review for Incredibles 2, and I was really pumped to do it because Incredibles is my favorite animated movie.
Wow, of all the movies to not do.
Yeah, I know, right? I forget what happened then.
I guess we'll get into it today.
So, and then...
I got some things to say about The Incredibles 2.
Yeah. And then the second half of the show, we'll just go through the 2019 releases, or at least what's been announced so far, and just kind of give our opinions on what we think that'll be about. So let's go ahead and get this rolling, and we'll start in last January with a movie that I wanted to see just because of the company it came from, but just never got around to it, and that was Early Man from Aardman Animation.
I also did not see this movie.
Yeah. Kyle has some words for this.
Oh, really?
No, I don't.
Oh.
Why are you lying?
His words are he also didn't see it.
Yeah, I was on board when it was all dinosaur stuff, and then they brought in the football shit, and I was like, I'm
there
done.
it is. That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
Fucking bait me into saying stuff. I'm not your puppet, asshole.
I'm just trying
Fight.
I'm just trying to give you an opportunity to talk.
Oh yeah, thanks.
It's a podcast where we say things. I don't know. I mean, just from the trailers, this looked like, a comparable Aardman movie, just like all their others. But yeah, kind of what Kyle said, like when it was about cavemen and like the people of the Bronze Age encroaching on the cavemen, I feel like that alone made for an interesting premise. But then they're like, oh, this is all gonna hinge on a soccer match. And like, oh, okay, sure.
Well, I'm out.
Here's a
Buck strolls.
Here's a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Since none of us saw this movie, what are your guys' feelings on Aardman in general?
I like them.
I like them.
I also like them.
I mean, we reviewed the Wallace and Gromit movie back in October, and I thought that was a cute movie. Chicken Run back in the day was all right.
I like the Pirates movie.
I still need to watch Pirates.
Too. Pirates is good. Now I kind of want to watch that again. Maybe I'll put that on after this.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know if Dustin. I don't know if it was you or Brad that streamed it, but someone was streaming Arthur Christmas over the holidays, and I watched that for the first time with you guys, and I thought that was a really good movie.
Yeah, I liked it too. That was my first time seeing it. I had heard great things about it beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And
I also saw that, and I didn't care for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Kyle's a curmudgeon.
He doesn't like Christmas.
He's a Christmas humbug.
I am.
Boo-hoo.
Boo words.
No, I liked it. I thought it was a very nice movie. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a nice story I hadn't seen before. Which, when it comes to Christmas movies, you're not gonna get like a fresh new Christmas movie.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what it had going for it. Is like it kind of had an interesting twist on the whole Santa thing, and I just kind of liked it that it would, like, stylistically, it was very much not like, if you hadn't told me it was Aardman, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah,
because it's not that Wallace and Gromit style that they always use in their movies.
He didn't even want to be Santa, and they made him Santa. How does that make any sense?
Christmas ruined,
right? Yeah.
That's when I stopped believing. This movie ended Christmas for me. I actually saw Curse of the Were-Rabbit for the very first time last night.
Oh, wow.
And I enjoyed it.
Well, that's good.
I think the thing I'll say about Aardman movies, or just Aardman in general, they're never like my absolute favorite things ever made, but they're always nice and charming.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I think it was arson. Someone arson around.
Oh my god.
Whoa! You can't say that in Wallace and Gromit.
Sure they can. They're British.
Did you guys see that? I mean, I was gonna say new, but it's not new anymore. But the newest Wallace and Gromit short, "The Matter of Loaf and Death."
I think so. Like a while back.
It was good, but a lot more over the top than the other Wallace and Gromit shorts. Like, the other ones are a little more grounded. You know, they do get a little ridiculous and silly, but this one was like, it was like about murders. Like, there was someone going around murdering bakers, and it had like over the top action sequences, and like I didn't hate that. I thought it was good. It was just different from the other ones where I was like, whoa, not what I was expecting from Wallace and Gromit, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, Chicken Run, I wasn't a huge... Well, I didn't dislike it, but, you know,
they're making a sequel to that, apparently.
Yeah, of all the movies to give a sequel to, that one definitely needed it.
Oh, yeah.
I just didn't like all the anti-Semitism in it.
Whoa, wait. It's been a while since I've seen it, but...
Well, speaking of unnecessary sequels...
What a segue!
I know, right?
Well,
I
go on.
I saw my opportunity and went for it. Does anyone remember Romeo and Juliet? Like, does anyone remember that being a thing?
No,
I sure
Exactly.
I never.
So
I
why did
never
they
saw
make a
the first
sequel to
one.
it?
I wonder if I should stream it sometime.
Let's just do a double feature of both the movies. Where we'll watch Romeo and Juliet and Sherlock Gnomes.
I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can do more than one at a time.
We'll stagger it out over a couple nights. The
only thing I remember about the original is in the trailer for it. The frog is talking to a mushroom and says, "You look like a fun guy."
Yeah, it's that kind of humor. I was working at a movie theater when this came out earlier last year, so I've seen like bits and pieces of it during the middle of the movie, and I've seen the ending of it. All I can tell you is, yeah, you have Johnny Depp being Sherlock Gnomes, and the bad guy is a sentient soap bottle.
Okay.
Did they all dance at the end?
Did they have a dance party?
Honestly, I've tried to purge most of it from my memory, so I don't know, but probably.
Yeah, let's just assume they did.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, probably.
I mean, the thing is, I feel bad shitting on movies like this because I'm sure lots of talented people gave it their all.
Yeah.
But that's just a paycheck to them.
True.
I'm sure they think it's shitty too.
Well, yeah, but, I'm sure they did the best they could. I'm sure the animation's fine. I mean, from what I've seen in the trailer, it's not like it looks awful. I'm sure it's just the writing that's not very good.
I mean, it's still like feature animation quality, animation-wise, but yeah. I don't think anyone was clamoring to see this movie.
Isn't it quote-unquote Disney? Made by their sister company?
I don't know.
The first one,
I don't know who made this.
The first one was. I don't think this one has any connection to Disney. I think it's like, well, I don't know.
Right.
Or care, really.
Exactly.
To be perfectly honest.
Right. But a movie that we did see, or at least Kyle and I did, Isle of Dogs came out this year. Wes Anderson finally did another animated movie.
I saw Isle of Dogs.
Isla of Dogs.
It's funny because if you say it really fast, it sounds like you're saying, I love dogs. I love dogs.
And wasn't that just the message of the movie?
Exactly.
If we're all honest with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Dustin,
I liked it.
Yeah, what did you think, Dustin, since you weren't on the review with us?
Well, it's been a while since I've watched it, so it's not like fresh in my memory, but I liked it. I thought it was cool. The thing, so Wes Anderson, I liked Fantastic Mr. Fox. I just bring that up since it's the other animated one he did.
Right.
But it was never like a favorite of mine. I liked this one more. I feel like it kind of had a little more going for it, at least for me. I kind of liked its quirky nature. I thought the story was interesting. Characters were cool.
Mm-hmm.
God.
He spoke in Japanese, and then they said, hey, I'm going to translate for you.
Yeah. Why were the dogs speaking English?
Because they said that the barks were translated.
No, that's dumb.
They gave you a warning at the beginning of the movie saying everyone is speaking their native tongues.
JD, you could talk your head off. Dogs would never do that.
It's true. That's totally unrealistic.
But no, I liked it a lot. I wish I had watched it again recently so I had more to say about it, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
I liked how it looked. I don't know, I just like that it looked different from other movies. I like that it was stop motion. Gosh, what else?
That people were like, oh, it's racist because there's a white character and they're the white savior.
Oh, the girl with the afro?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But she was
all
funny.
That kind of Tumblr. She was cool, man.
Yeah.
And she had red hair.
It's true.
We connected on a personal
Ginger
level.
Representation. It works for Kyle.
Yeah. It doesn't happen too much in media.
That's all Kyle needed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up.
I I think I'd honestly have to watch Mr. Fox and this again, just kind of to see which one I'd like better. But yeah, I think Isle of Dogs is really nice, and I really wish. I hope Wes Anderson keeps doing these periodically, because I think he makes really interesting animated films, and I'm glad that he's like still going with stop motion, and it kind of works with like I don't know, his movies have like this kind of weird like dollhouse aesthetic I've heard it described as, and I think that really carries over the movie, and because it's like all stop motion, it almost kind of enhances that in a way. If that makes any sense.
It doesn't, but I'll agree with it.
Sure.
Shit, I just had something I was going to say about it.
What a twist.
Oh, yeah.
Twist. I saw it coming, though.
I didn't see it I wonder if I'm just slow lately, because some of these movies have twists that I just didn't see coming, and I was like, wow, they got me. I forget, did this movie have a dance party at the ending?
Yeah.
Did it?
They danced to Party Rock.
I don't remember that happening.
Well, guess what, JD? It happened.
Oh, jeez.
Are you calling us liars?
I would just like to think Wes Anderson has more integrity than that. He'd probably use some hipster song.
They defeated the bad guy, and it was a cat in a suit. And everybody so overcame.
He was like, I was almost rid of those dogs, and then it turns out it was a surprise sequel to Cats vs. Dogs.
It's the third one, then?
Yeah. Oh, did they have a second one?
Yeah.
Why do you know that?
I don't know why I know that, but I know there is.
Then there was G-Force, and it was a movie about guinea pigs.
It was. It was not about the bird pilots from Japan.
All those guinea pigs are dead now.
Those CG guinea pigs?
Well, think about it. In that universe, those guinea pigs would be dead by this point.
I mean, probably.
Those characters everyone loves.
Oh,
those beloved G-Force guinea pig characters.
Deepest lore.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about Isle of Dogs. I wish I saw it more recently so I'd have more to say about it, other than it was a good, enjoyable movie.
Yeah. But so the next movie on our list, we had intended to actually do a review of this, but for whatever reason, we kind of let it slip. But I feel like we probably all have a lot to say about Incredibles 2.
Oh, I've got some words to say about The Incredibles 2. Let me tell you what I thought about The Incredibles 2. I'll say it right now. I thought it was great.
Yeah. So I was one of those people in the camps that like really loved the first movie and was just baffled by the fact that Pixar, of all the movies, was not making a sequel to this for years. And then when they finally announced they're making a sequel, I was just on board day one. I'm like, I don't care what it is, I want to see it. It's got Brad Bird back directing. It's another Incredibles movie finally, and it was all right.
Did you go in with your expectations too high?
No, I think I had my expectations, I think, at a reasonable level. I mean, I liked it. I think overall it retreads on a few things from the first movie. But I think it's different enough that it can stand apart from the first movie. I just think that the first movie has a lot more heart to it. With being focused on like the whole family like that. But I like the role reversal between Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl. And I honestly like the villains of it. I think it was kind of an interesting twist to, instead of making the guy from Breaking Bad making his sister the bad guy instead of him, which from the commercials probably would have made it seem like he would have been.
Who, Bob Odenkirk?
Yeah. I don't know.
He's on Tim and Eric Awesome Show.
Oh. I don't even watch Breaking Bad. I just happen to know that.
I had no idea he was in Breaking Bad.
I think he's got his own spin-off show from what I remember.
Huh.
If it's the same guy I'm thinking about. Anyway. But yeah, I liked it. I think it was a fun story. I don't think it's as good as the original, but I think it's just like just a slightly below the original. I would still like rewatch it again, but it's not gonna like replace the original as my favorite movie.
So going by what you've said, you said The Incredibles 2 is all right, but The Incredibles is your favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
And so all right is just below the first one? Is what you're saying?
I don't know. I'm just saying that the first Incredibles movie, I usually say is my favorite animated movie. I don't think the sequel is nearly as good as it. It is a good movie, and I would gladly rewatch it. It is a step below the original. Not a high, not a. I guess I should rephrase that.
More
it's
like
not a
an
small
entire
step.
Staircase.
What?
It's more like an entire staircase.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would.
I don't know. I mean, just looking at between the two. I mean, just the level of detail to compare between the first two movies, just like how far their animation has come.
They didn't make the animation for this movie specifically. Technology happens. Jimmy.
I know. I'm just saying it's interesting to see how much technology's developed in the last 15 years between the two movies, and just seeing all these characters in like higher definition and better lighting and texturing and modeling and all that junk.
Mm-hmm. What I would say is each Incredibles movie does some things better than the other. I feel like the first one had a more cohesive story.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in the first movie, Bob had more of an arc to go through than Helen did in this one.
Yeah.
Like, Helen didn't really, come to any conclusion about herself or her life or anything like Bob did in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like 2 had a little less to say than the first one did, but I feel like the second one, I like that this one balances out the family a little better. Like in the first movie, it's mostly just Mr. Incredible and then his family for a little bit.
Right.
But this one was nicely divided out. Like it was still Helen on her own, but then the scenes with Bob was it had a good focus on Dash, Violet, Jack, and Bob, to the point where it felt like every character kind of got their time to shine. Where in the first movie, it didn't really. It was more just on him, and the others were, I mean, they had their scenes, but not really that much. This one, I think, was, more rounded, more, and, obviously the animation is way better now. I thought the action sequences were very good because of that.
Yeah, like that whole train sequence was really well done.
Yeah, that's exactly the one I was thinking of. And not to say that the action scenes in the first one are bad, but just like we were saying, technology, just with what they can do now, they just are able to make it feel a lot more exhilarating.
Yeah, for sure.
But I also do feel like the second one, like, it didn't do it as much as I thought it was going to, but it did have some moments where it felt like it was just kind of retreading the original. Like,
for sure.
The scene with Edna. Like, I like what they did with Edna in this movie, but it did kind of feel like, we have...
Yeah,
it felt like they were kind of shoehorning Edna into the movie because, well, we have to have Edna in the movie.
Yeah, there was a scene in the first one where they go and visit Edna for something. There's a scene in the second one where they do the same thing.
Yeah,
it's
and
like Brad Bird needs a second paycheck, so we gotta put him in here.
And, I'm glad that scene is there. I'd rather have a scene with Edna rather than no Edna in the movie at all. But, it does obviously feel not as organic as it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I would say is both a pro and a con was a lot of Jack focus. I feel like maybe a little too much, but at the same time, they were entertaining scenes, so I can't complain that much.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. Like, I don't think they should be taken out, but I definitely agree that I feel like they feel like a lot of people's one of their favorite scenes from the original is that ending scene where Jack starts like flipping through his powers and stuff, and I'm like, oh, we got to expand on that. And I think maybe they just went a little too far with it.
A little. But I liked I thought the raccoon fight scene was entertaining. I love when he just bursts into flames.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of funny scenes, but yeah, I feel like that scene when they're on the boat probably could have been toned down, like a little less Jack for those, since we already had so much Jack throughout the movie.
Right.
But, at the same time, I don't think the movie's worse off for it.
Mm-hmm.
I still think they were entertaining scenes.
Gotta sell those Funko Pops.
Exactly.
All his different forms, man.
People will buy, 6 or 7 so they can have the clone power.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I did not like this movie.
You didn't care for The Incredibles 2?
I did not. I did like the cheesecake in it, but...
Whoa ho ho!
The what?
The point.
He's
Cheesecake,
talking about Mrs. Incredible, i.e. Helen Parr's big thighs.
Oh, is that what
Her
the kids are calling it these days?
Yeah, all the cool
These
ones
days.
anyway.
Thick thighs say lies, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, as I was saying, I didn't like the whole Jack parts. I do feel that from a marketing perspective, that was kind of needed, because they gotta put stuff like that to sell the dolls and sell the toys.
Right.
They gotta get the funny baby in there.
Maybe I'm being too pessimistic, but that's how it comes off as. And also, I read that he wanted to put the whole raccoon thing in the first movie, and boy, am I glad they didn't.
Yeah, I feel like the first movie is like a very, very cohesive film. I think it is just near perfect beginning to end. So I'm glad if they needed to cut that scene out and put it somewhere else, I'm glad they stuck it in the sequel instead.
Yeah.
I think I was telling Dustin this last time he was out here, but what was it? I feel like all the new superheroes never made it past the design phase.
I didn't care for them, but there's a couple I like, but overall I'm kind of like...
Like...
It's like maybe 1 out of 2?
I like the owl.
Like
I like the owl guy and the old guy.
Yeah, the owl guy,
I
the
thought they
old
were
guy,
cool.
and the brick lady, I feel like had really, like, kind of, at least a little interesting to character designs. But yeah, the Void Girl and the guy with the electric powers, and I think there was one more.
If you look at all their body types, they're all cartoony and stuff, but they feel like they don't belong in the same universe.
I get that.
I just feel like their costumes don't have any originality to them. They're just like generic superhero costumes, like something you'd find at a party store or something.
Yeah, it's like if you look at an art book for like Wreck-It Ralph or something, and you see where it's like, yeah, he was gonna be a monster, and it's like pictures of him as a monster and shit. That's what it feels like. They didn't have time to flesh these characters out. They just were like, yep, this is good. First pass, we're good.
They were sitting there just throwing out oh, what would be an interesting power to have, and then okay, sketch out a character. Okay, good, let's go.
Yeah, and I feel like as long as this movie there wasn't a lot of explanation on stuff, because as dumb as this is gonna sound or not, but they said with the Lego sets or whatever, the Brick Girl was supposed to be a normal person. And she was supposed to have the power to be a normal person and then turn into that form. So when you look at her Lego form or whatever, it's a normal person, and they have big, I think Hulk, Thanos, all these
the big fig ones,
minifigures. Yeah, but that's what they were saying was design-wise, she was supposed to be normal too. So
I feel like if they had showed that, I would have been more okay with her final design. It would have kind of made sense having her kind of look weird. if he was like, like a form she kind of morphs into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then like, what was it? The Crush dude. He's just almost as big as her and doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Helen and Miss Incredible, her waist is really tiny, but then
we get
kind of
it, Kyle. You
stuff.
like Mrs. Incredible.
I do, but if you look at how cartoony she is as opposed to realistic, it's like it kind of plays that line.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Crush, his forearms are like way bigger than her head and stuff like that. So there's a lot of cartooniness, and it just does not feel like it fits in the same universe. That's all I'm trying to say.
I feel you.
I can see that.
And then the bad guy, the actual bad guy itself doesn't... I don't know. It was dumb to me because the lady from Megamind finally got some work.
Oh my God.
Decided to be in this movie, and the
I'll say this.
The main bad guy.
I'll say this: I hate that Disney and I guess Pixar are going all in on the twist villains.
Yeah,
it's gotten to the point where every single movie you see from him, it's like, okay, well, I guess it's a guessing game of who's going to be the bad guy.
Now that you say it, kinda, yeah.
Big Hero 6 had one.
Zootopia, literally every Disney movie since Wreck-It Ralph.
Moana didn't.
Although I guess
No, Frozen.
Moana was still kind of a villain twist, but not in the same way. So I appreciated that.
Yeah, Moana doesn't
Now he
really
was the bad
have
guy.
much of an outward antagonist. Kind of like how Ralph doesn't
It was
really.
Maui.
Or Ralph 2, I guess.
We'll get to that.
Get to
Let's
Ralph
not
2.
jump the gun just yet. I think it's kind of...
Yes, I didn't like it. 15 years too late, am I right, Brad Bird?
God.
really dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that the three of us have such a wide variety of opinions on the movie. I thought it was really, really good. JD thought it was all right, and Kyle thought it was the worst movie ever made.
The worst movie since Car 2.
Wow.
Whoa, those are some fighting words. I don't think this is nearly Cars 2 level. This isn't even Good Dinosaur level.
I never saw The Good Dinosaur.
Good
More
Dinosaur
like
was
The Bad Dinosaur, am I right?
Good Dinosaur was, visually beautiful, just kind of boring.
That's kind of what I heard. I haven't heard much good about it, so I guess I'll continue not seeing it.
It's you look at it, and it's like, we get it, Pixar. You can make realistic environments.
We get it. Enough already.
Pretty much.
The Good Dinosaur was a tech demo.
Yeah, kind of. It was like, look what we can do.
Well, if I remember right, I think both The Good Dinosaur and Brave both had a lot of problems behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess that doesn't really excuse it, but I guess I can understand.
Right, yeah.
But, so what I would say for Incredibles 2, I would say I don't like it as much as the first one, but I would say it's still very, very good and up there for me. Maybe just a pinch below the first one, since I do think it does some things better.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I don't know how much of that is just nostalgia, or if the first one is just legit, just better. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
For me, I don't think it's just a nostalgia, because I think I rewatched the first Incredibles last year, and I think it still holds up. I
think the first one is more consistently good. I feel like the second one has more flaws than the first one,
right.
But I already said I think it does some things better, so I won't say it again, even though I just did. So forget I did.
All I'm gonna say is I pirated this movie and I still went to get my money back.
Kyle, you can't say that. You're gonna go to prison.
He says that every episode.
You can't go to. You can't just admit you're pirate.
Pirating.
I'm looking out for you.
Don't worry, Disney. I have a ticket to prove I went and saw it.
I'm doing a citizen's arrest. You go to jail.
But a movie that I didn't see, and one I'm kind of regretting that I didn't. We got another Hotel
Teen
Transylvania
Titans Go?
movie last year.
Oh.
The only reason I regret not seeing this movie is just because every time someone posts like a GIF set from it, just like how goofy the animation looks, just like how much they let Gendy just go crazy with it. I want to see it just for that. I think Hotel Transylvania 1 and 2 are for being Adam Sandler movies, I think Gendy really got things under control, and I think they're actually very good movies. I like them a lot. So when they said they're doing a third one, I'm like, yeah, sure, that makes sense. It's a good franchise for Sony, but just never got around to it. It looked very well put together. I mean, I can't say anything to the story, but I thought the animation looked really, really good.
Mm-hmm. They told Gendy, close your eyes and think of Popeye. And then that's what happened.
Now they have some weird Flash show on YouTube.
Oh, have you guys not done an episode about the Popeye shorts yet?
I haven't.
No.
We got some shows to fill the next couple months. Maybe we'll do that soon.
Hopefully. Everyone's begging for it.
I haven't vomited in a while. I can go for that.
I only ever saw the first Hotel Transylvania, and I liked it. I never saw the second one, and that's why I didn't see the third one. I kept telling myself, I'll sit down and watch the second one, and then I'll be prepared to see the third one, and then I didn't watch either of them.
Yeah, I kind of want. I kind of want to sit down and
am...
like do a marathon of all three of them, just because I haven't seen the first two in a while, and obviously need to watch the third one still.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the first two, and I think Andy Samberg is the weakest part of the
movies. He is.
Yeah. I do like the designs for the movies. I am a Gendy fan. I like the animation. I feel like you can either have a really strong story or really strong animation, and I'll enjoy it. It doesn't necessarily have to be both. It should be both.
Yeah.
But, like, if a movie's story isn't all that great, like, I wouldn't say the first movie's story is that great or that interesting, but it just looks so good. Everyone moves around so cartoony and fun that I would say I enjoy the movies mostly because of that.
Yeah, totally.
It doesn't need to excel in all areas.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they're like the greatest movies ever made. I mean, they're still silly monster movies.
You said it. You said they were the best movies ever made.
That's totally what I said.
I heard it.
Yeah, we all heard it. We can go back and listen to it all we want.
Yeah.
Gonna have a hard time weaseling your way out of this one.
Damn. Yeah, so I mean, they're fun movies. I wouldn't say they're anywhere near the like top 10 animated movies ever made list, but they're fun. You can put them on in the background or whatever, and the animation's pretty to look at. So
they're no Incredibles 2.
Not by a long shot.
I really like that we're at least getting movies like this. I was talking to a friend earlier how you really don't get a whole lot of animated movies that are like really cartoony.
Yeah, and that's kind of what's. I feel like it's starting to move a little more in the cartoony direction, because I feel like for so long, 3D animation was struggling so hard. We need to obtain realism. We need to make this look as real and as detailed as we possibly can get it. And I think they finally reached a peak. But now we're starting to get movies like Hotel Transylvania, like we'll talk about later, Spider-Man, where you can. Now we're getting to the point where we've achieved realism enough that we got to start branching off in different directions and like really exploring the weird stuff you can do with 3D animation, because you can still do 3D animation and make it look like 2D movement, or just like the weird stuff you could do in 2D you can still do in 3D, and make it look good the way, kind of the way that Transylvania does. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like what other Sony's really good with cartoony animation. At least they're good with something.
Like,
but
I didn't watch it, but they made a Smurf movie last year or the year before, And I only saw bits and pieces of that, and that kind of had like, they translated the actual style of the cartoon into it.
Whoa. JD, you're telling me you didn't see The Smurfs, The Lost Village?
Not all of it. I've seen maybe like
Oh my
altogether
God.
10 minutes of it, but
Everyone was talking about it.
Were you the one person who got left out?
Probably, yeah.
Look at this guy over here. He never saw The Smurfs, The Lost Village. I never saw it either.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Giving me shit. Come on now.
But it did look nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give it that. I was never a big Smurfs fan.
Yeah,
but
me either.
I will say the movie looked nice, so I might watch it sometime just for like the visuals.
Yeah, totally.
I'm sure it's a perfectly fine little kids movie.
Well, speaking of perfectly fine little kids movies.
Teen Titans Go to the movies?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the cinematic
finally.
adventure of the year?
I'm gonna say, I think this is my biggest surprise of the year. Just because it's no secret I do not like Teen Titans Go. I've gotten over my prejudice.
This is news to me.
Shut up, Kyle.
When have you ever said this before?
I've said it multiple times. I've gotten over my prejudice
truth comes out.
of it being of using assets and stuff from the first show. I just don't like its brand of humor. It's not for me. My wife really enjoys it, but for me, it's I don't know. But I actually had a lot of fun watching the Teen Titans movie. I thought it was a fun movie.
I
made me laugh.
I think what helps it work a little bit is since it's a movie, it kind of has to have a little more going than just wacky cartoony shenanigans. I'm all for cartoony wacky shenanigans, but I mean like Teen Titans Go is a show that does not give a shit about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like characters die in episodes, very little continuity, and that's fine. I feel like that works for the show, but for a movie, you need to have a little more than that. And I think that's how I think it works.
I think my biggest the reason why I think I like the movie better than the show is that the show is just like all this craziness cram-packed into 11 minutes. But when you've got this hour-and-a-half movie that you need to fill out, it lets the story breathe a little bit. Like, it's not just joke after joke after joke. There's they give it some time to just be quiet for a second. It's not just constant noise being thrown at you.
That's why I go to the movies for quiet time.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying I think the story, as opposed to whatever stories they do in the show, from what I've seen of it, the movie is just paced a lot better because they've got the time to do it.
Yeah, it needs to be paced a little better. Well, the show exactly. That sounds pretty much like what I just said, JD.
Mm-hmm.
Plagiarized.
Yep, that's me. All right.
You can copy my homework, but just make sure you change it up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. I'll make sure the teacher doesn't know. I don't know. I mean, I even laughed pretty consistently at this movie. I liked all how they took a lot of piss shots at DC. I even laughed at the egregious Stan Lee cameo in this.
Yeah.
I don't know. It made me laugh. The animation, for still being the weird flash animation they do for the show, I mean, thought was still entertaining. So
I do think that the style works for the movie, even though it is still kind of cheapy flash animation. It at least looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I think it's really low budget. I think $10 million.
Yeah, I don't think they put a lot of money into this, but I don't remember if this did very well or not.
It did well enough, I think.
Okay.
It did well enough to justify its purpose, but I don't think it was a massive runaway hit.
Oh.
But I thought it was a very funny movie, very enjoyable.
Let's see here.
I like the show. I think Teen Titans Go is funny, but I I don't watch every single episode of it. I've caught episodes here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the movie was very good, very funny. Like I was saying, just talking about like cartoony movies, I'm glad we got a movie where humor like this could make it into a movie.
Yeah. So this movie was made for $10 million. It made 52.
That's pretty good.
So
Five
I
times
think
its
they made a
budget.
good return on their investment.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, compared to other movies, that's really not much.
Yeah.
But given what the movie is, that's a big success.
Mm-hmm.
Good for them.
Kyle, did you watch this movie?
I did. I saw this movie and I thought it was better than Wreck-It Ralph and The Incredibles 2 put together.
Wow.
And that is not hyperbole.
I might agree with the first part of that. Not so much the second.
Yeah, I don't know if I can go that far, but I will say I enjoyed it a lot.
I would put it
Probably.
in my top. I would put it in my top 200 movies.
That's pretty good.
Easy.
I want to see your top 200 movies, Kyle.
Let's do it. Let's do an Everyone Shares Their Top 200 Movies podcast.
Right now. Go, everybody.
Let's
Okay,
do
you
like
heard
a
'em.
7-hour podcast.
I don't know if I like invested enough in 200 movies to make a list that long.
All right, we are on day 3 of the Ink and Paint Club podcast. We're halfway through Kyle's top
We still
200.
got 2 more lists to go after this.
we'll do it for charity, but we'll just take all the money anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck
Yeah,
kids.
our charity. He 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 he.
I'm poor. I need money. It's for me.
We never said what charity.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably my number 3 movie of the year.
That's fair.
And I was gonna say we'll get to what 2 and 1 are when we get to them, but Incredibles 2 is probably my second, and I forgot to say it, so I'll say it now.
Yeah.
But Teen Titans Go to the Movies was very good, very funny.
They did go to the movies too.
They did. They lived up to the title. They had lots of little inside jokes. They had good songs. I like the upbeat, inspirational song about life. And they killed a man. Yeah, they killed a man.
I think his dad's a cop.
Oh, what scamps they are.
Oh. See, it's stuff
I
like
liked
that.
it when Robin said, "Shut up, Meg," and then he hit her.
Oh my God.
And then he did a Fortnite dance.
Yeah.
Who can forget?
Yeah,
Oh,
good
man.
stuff.
Anyone else have anything else to say about Teen Titans Go to the Movies? I'm kind of struggling to think of much else to say other than, the scene, the Lion King scene.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
The really, weirdly well-animated Lion
When I
King
saw
scene.
this movie for the first time, I saw it multiple times. But when I saw it for the first time, the movie froze in the middle of that scene.
Oh, shit.
And me and my friends were sitting in the theater for like half an hour before it finally continued.
Oh, my God.
And we all got free movie passes.
There you go. Did
One
you
of
use
which
your...
I used to see that. I used it to see Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's all right. That's not a bad movie to use it on.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That's all right, yeah.
That's my story for Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna lump the next two into the same category of movies I didn't see. I don't think any of us saw, and personally, I had no real
wait a
interest in
minute.
seeing.
Wait a second. Let's find out first. Kyle, did you see Smallfoot?
Did you see The
Me
Grinch?
neither.
Okay, well there
Me
you go.
Cool.
Um,
But let's take a second to talk about him.
Yeah, so I don't think it's any secret that most of the people on the show are not a fan of Illumination. So when they said that they're doing yet another Dr. Seuss story and The Grinch of all things, I just kind of checked out of that.
My friend said it perfectly. Illumination Entertainment has found the perfect formula for mediocrity.
Yeah.
Where their movies don't have to be very good, but people will still see them.
No, like they're very much for little kids and they're for middle-aged people.
And I hate to say that too, because like I was saying about Sherlock Gnomes, I'm sure the people who animate these movies and make them put all their heart and so much work into them.
For sure.
Like I don't want to besmirch any of their work on these movies, but
I'll smirch the shit out of them.
I'll
Smirch them good.
That's true. I think the Grinch's long-lasting legacy will be tied to Smash Brothers more than the actual movie.
Honestly, you're probably right.
I mean, from what I heard, the movie was just like, yeah, it's another Illumination movie. It's not that good, but it could be worse.
My
bland and safe.
Like my just the way I rationalize Illumination in my head is tied to when we went and saw Secret Life of Pets with my parents. Melanie and I just thought it was like the most generic, nothing movie. And
that's what it looked like.
And then as soon as we get out of it, my parents just turned and was like, "That was one of the best movies I've ever seen." I'm like, "Of course you think that."
Woof.
So,
or should I say, woof?
Ugh.
Oh.
And believe me, we'll get back to Secret Life of Pets here in a bit. But yeah, and then there's Smallfoot, where
to be fair, I heard Smallfoot was better than it looks.
That's the thing. Like, I personally am glad that Warner Brothers is getting back into feature animation. Like, they're doing really well with the Lego movies. I thought Storks was okay. I watched it on a plane.
I liked it.
It was alright. Yeah, it was an okay movie.
It's one of those movies I wouldn't say it's amazing, but I had fun watching it. It's a nice little movie.
Yeah, and then I'm looking at the designs for Smallfoot, and it almost looks like Gendy's stuff a little bit, at least in the character design.
I thought it was him.
Yeah, kinda.
Did you ever get your check for having Frank in that movie?
Shut up. But yeah, I kind of want to check out Smallfoot just because I want to support Warner Brothers getting back into the game, and they're making good to decent movies. So there's nothing in their current track record that leads me to believe that Smallfoot wouldn't be good, or at least all right.
I'll probably rent it sometime soon.
Yeah.
It seems like a nice rentable movie.
Exactly, yeah. It wasn't a movie I was rushing out to the theater to go see, but I feel like at some point in my life I will sit down and watch it.
I think I fell down the stairs trying to rush out on the first day to see this movie.
Kyle was on his way out the door. He's like, "We need to see Smallfoot." Then he tripped down the stairs. And he was like, "Oh, now I can't see Smallfoot.
Yeah.
What am I to do?"
It was a big deal. I was pretty disappointed, honestly.
Yeah. He went to a dark place because he couldn't see Smallfoot.
Oh my god. So, we did a review of this back in November, but Dustin, you weren't on with us when we did it.
I sure wasn't.
Yeah, so...
We did it.
Whoa! Getting steamy up in here. Save that for after the podcast, you two.
I know, right? So let's talk a little about Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Okay. What do you want to say about it?
A shitty movie.
Refer back to my review. No.
I'm gonna be honest. I did not listen to your guys' review on it.
It's fine.
So.
The long and short of it is that it was okay. I think it undid a few things from the first movie. And I feel like they kind of downgraded the old video game references in lieu of making internet jokes.
I agree, but
Ralph's a meme.
It's so funny. Remember when Ralph did the Fortnite dance?
I did.
God.
And then he dabbed, and it was real funny.
Oh, Jesus.
And then he was a screaming goat. Remember those?
Yeah. That's not... I think my biggest problem with Ralph is that the first movie, I feel like with the story it was telling and the references it was making, those were already pretty timeless things, but a lot of the stuff they were doing in this movie, especially a lot of the internet culture stuff, it was already outdated when the movie came out. I think the most modern thing they had in there, and I'm pretty sure they shoehorned in the last couple of months, is they had like a picture and a video of Fortnite. But that's
Pretty
about
funny
it.
stuff.
It's like putting Tracer in Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yikes.
Hey guys, remember Rick rolling?
That
So
was
fucking funny.
Remember that after the credits? They did the funny Wreck-It Ralph Rick roll?
Because like all little kids want to watch Frozen 2.
Funny stuff.
Yeah. So Dustin, what did you think of Wreck-It Ralph 2?
I thought it was all right. You know, I don't think that it was as good as the first one, but for what it was, I thought it was fun enough. It's kind of like The Incredibles 2, where I just like seeing these characters again. I like these characters so much that I'm just on board with whatever they're going to do with them. But, I didn't think this was a movie that needed to be made. Like, I don't know. Was anyone really wanting more I know people liked Wreck-It Ralph, but it's not like The Incredibles where people were dying for a sequel afterwards.
Yeah, pretty much. When they said they're like, oh, we're making a Wreck-It Ralph sequel, I'm like, okay, cool, why not? But it wasn't like something I was like over every day on the internet going like, I need a sequel to this movie.
Yeah, but I will say, like Incredibles 2, it did maybe a couple things I preferred over the first one. I like that this one's, the environments were a little more varied. Like, the first movie has some different environments, but it's mostly in Sugar Rush.
Yeah.
I feel like this one, while it's all on the internet, that still opens up way more possibilities for visuals. They went into that one game, Slaughter Race. They went to Oh My Disney. Remember when they did that?
Yeah.
Remember all the things Disney owns?
That was pretty forgettable, honestly.
I thought it was probably like the best part of the movie. Like the rest,
they just they brushed over that.
I just thought it was a big Disney like wank fest, like saying, "Look at all these things we own."
I agree, but at the same time, I feel like it could have been worse. Like I feel like a lot of people thought that was going to be most of the movie when it's really just that scene.
I mean, I'm glad it was relegated to that one scene. I still think.
But then it happened at the end.
That's
too.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think I would have been fine if all that Disney stuff was relegated to that one part of the movie. I don't like that the princesses come back at the end.
I thought it was fine.
It
was fine.
I don't know. I just thought it was like...
The princesses came to save the day, because they don't need no man.
That's true.
They saved a man. A pixel man.
One thing I didn't think made much sense, they had that one bear from the old Disney shorts. I forget his name. But
he's in 2D.
Yeah, what's up with that? The bear's in 2D, but the princesses whose movies were 2D aren't 2D. They're CGI. What's up with that? Boy, I hope someone got fired for that blunder.
It's Humphrey the bear.
Yeah, that's it. Humphrey's his name. It's been so long, but I remembered him.
He's picking up trash.
But I want to see what their excuse is for that one.
A wizard did it.
Yeah, there we go. I withdraw the question. But yeah, I thought the movie was all right. Not as funny or fresh as the first one. I do kind of think it's probably for the better that they didn't go in so hard on the video game references, just because that would have felt weird to shoehorn them into a movie about the internet.
I think
I feel like it's good that they kept the focus where it needed to be.
Well, no, I think I need to rephrase that. What I meant was that they didn't. There wasn't as much of the video game references. Is that, and we said this in the review. In the first movie, the arcade hub that everyone goes to, like the train station part, I feel like that was so full in the first movie. There's just all these characters. Like even if they were just copy pasted, there was just so many. But when they're in the hub in the second movie, I feel like there's like nobody there.
Kinda.
There's Sonic, there's the Street Fighter guys, there's the Dig Dug guy, but like they do the whole group gathering up when Sugar Rush is being taken out. I feel like that crowd is just so sparse and there's like nobody there.
What was Sonic doing there? He should be busy getting ready for his own movie.
I know, right?
Ha ha ha. Yeah, I mean, this movie I thought was fine. I liked it enough. I thought it was again a movie that didn't really need to be made, but for what I got, I thought it did it all right. I feel like Fix-It Felix and Calhoun kind of got shafted. They were in the beginning and then didn't show up again until later.
They sure did.
So I don't know, Kyle. I don't know if you and I talked about this.
We did.
Yeah. So I think I feel like there's going to be a short film on the DVD explaining everything that was going on with Felix and Calhoun.
Yeah, that feels like it was maybe a little too obvious what they were going for with that.
I don't think it's so much that is that I think they had planned to keep going back to that to like make them more of the movie, but it went,
cut it for time.
It was cut for time. So
but they were like, "Hey, we don't have enough princess shit. Let's stretch this out a little bit more."
Here's the thing. I'll defend the "Oh My Disney" scene by saying this is probably the only Disney movie where they could do something like this.
Yeah.
Like, this is probably the only time where they could say, "Look at all this shit we own. Remember these princesses? Disney, Disney, Disney." And I won't fault them for taking the one opportunity they had to do that.
I guess so.
I hated this movie. I stopped vomiting because I started crying.
Kyle gets very invested in these movies.
It's so awful. I wanted a sequel, and then they're like, "Hey guys, let's make it the worst possible thing you can think of."
Remember when Ralph
Hey,
did
remember
all the
we were
funny
gonna-
memes?
Yeah, remember we were gonna put Mario in it? Nope, that's not gonna happen.
Well, that all is probably since Illumination has the rights to Mario for movies now.
That's true.
Yeah, but they still have question mark blocks in there.
Yeah, that's true.
I really hope Nintendo stays on top of them because I just feel like when they get around to that Mario movie, it's going to be such a middle-of-the-road movie that's going to be so forgettable.
Yeah, I mean, I think they said Miyamoto is overseeing it. Like, he's more hands-on on it, which is either a good thing or bad thing.
I don't know if that's a good thing anymore.
Yeah, given the route Paper Mario went down and everything.
Yeah.
But then again, remember how weird Super Mario Odyssey got, so
That's true.
Maybe.
Yeah, this movie, it was bad.
Did you think it was a stinky poo-poo?
I did.
Wow.
It's on my list of movies that I've seen once and never have to see again in my life.
I thought it was fine. I thought it was harmless.
I'm not nearly as hard on this as Kyle, but I'm kind of in that camp of like, I saw it once, and I'm not in any hurry to see it again.
That's kind of how I was with Finding Dory. I know this is going back a little
I have no interest in
ways.
seeing Dory ever again.
That's another movie I thought was fine. Well, no, I liked it when I saw it. I remember thinking, oh, you know what? I like that. I like that more than the first one. Then when it came out on Blu-ray, I was like, I have no desire to
Dory is
own
just
this or ever see it again.
Dory was just like a textbook definition for unnecessary sequel because it's so much rehash of the first one.
Yeah.
Remember when Sigourney Weaver was in that movie?
I sure do.
Yeah.
Fucking wild, man.
Funny. I clapped when I heard her.
Yeah.
And then Harley Quinn farted.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
but I'm glad to say that we rounded out 2018 with what I would say was my favorite animated film this year.
Not that there was that much competition.
I mean, that's true, but at the same time, I think it was well deserved.
Yeah,
but
agreed.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse came out last month, and wow, if anyone remembers our big crowded review for that,
Everyone wanted to be on board, except for me, who hadn't seen it yet.
it's true.
Everyone's here except Dustin.
Yeah, exactly. And Kyle kind of got steamrolled over in that episode, so he didn't get to talk.
Don't
much.
you mean Rick rolled? Oh,
No, because this movie
Get
wasn't
that like
full
Rick
of
and
internet
Ralph.
memes.
funny.
So yeah, I mean, I think I said my piece in the review, so I'm interested to hear what both of you thought of it.
I didn't listen to your review since I hadn't seen it when that review came out. So give me your summary of what you thought of the movie. Did you enjoy it?
I love this movie. I think it was really well done.
Cool. Moving on to Kyle.
I was just gonna say that I've never seen a movie animated this way. I think it has a very unique style. Just everything about it. I walked out of the movie wanting to go watch it again, which I do need to go see it. I want to go see it in 3D because I feel like this would be a good movie for it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Did you make your spider Sona?
No, and I'm not going to do that.
Oh, okay.
I don't have the time or interest to. But yeah, so Dustin, what did you think?
I thought this movie was a blasty blast. I saw it for the second time today, and it's still just as wonderful. I would say it blows every single other movie this year out of the water, including Incredibles 2, which I liked a lot. Apparently some people here don't, but I thought it was great. But even that, I think just...
Don't get me started on The Incredibles 2.
Oh, we already did.
We're not going to get back into that.
But I would say even then, I think this movie just blows it completely out of the water. Like, not even a competition.
Yeah, for sure.
I loved everything about this movie. I can't think of a single thing I didn't like about it. I think my only nitpick is that even though they market the 3 spider people who come in later, they're really not in the movie all that much, which is probably for the best. They keep the focus on where it should be, on the main characters.
Yeah,
but
that
at
was...
the same time, I would have maybe liked a little more with it. But other than that, I think it's just...
Yeah, I had the same issue where I think, I mean, even by the fact that they crammed Noir, Penny, and Spider-Ham's origins all together, I feel like they were just kind of there to be like, Marvel's like, hey, look at all these other spider people we have. And they got their little moments to like do their thing, but I agree, they weren't nearly as focused on as the other 3.
Yeah, but at the same time, the story wasn't necessarily about them. Like you said, they were just there to kind of emphasize, whoa, look at how many spider people are here.
Yeah,
and I think they did that very well. I just maybe would have liked like maybe 1 or 2 more scenes with them.
Right, and
but
honestly,
I guess that's a good problem to have when you just want more of it.
Honestly, for his like when they said they were doing a Miles Morales movie. I'm like, great. They're finally getting to him because I think he's an interesting character and like his whole backstory like that. I think that I always thought that would make for an interesting Spider-Man movie. But
yeah, how many comics have you read of him?
I haven't read the comics, but I've seen enough videos of people explaining plots to me. I don't have time to read comics.
That's the same as reading it.
Reading's
that's
for nerds.
That's the same as reading it.
Yeah, reading Wikipedia counts.
I could barely even read the text in this movie. As soon as I saw one of the dialogue boxes, I was like, snooze.
Well, what I was going to say is that, like, I'm glad that even though they have all these different Spider-Men in there, that it's still Miles' movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yes. Kyle, since you didn't get to talk, what did you think?
I liked it, but I wish he would have gotten a little bit more training or something, because he just felt weak and helpless the entire movie, and I wanted to see him go OP, not in the last 10 minutes.
I can kind of agree. That's kind of what I was thinking earlier today when I saw it. Sorry to interrupt you, Kyle, but just to agree with you. Just to emphasize.
I wanted to see everybody teach him their own, like, fighting style or something. That would have been pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And then every time I saw Kingpin, I laughed because he was silly.
His design is so good in this. He's just a big wall.
I've been seeing 4chan make fun of him like he's the Kanye video. That makes me laugh. No, I like this movie. It was fun. Probably the best superhero animated movie we've seen, and we've seen a lot of Marvel and DC animated movies. And yeah, I liked it.
Nice.
It would be in my top 10
Wow.
animated movies.
Oh man,
That's
we're
a
going to
lot.
revise
That's
that
pretty
top
good.
10 episode we did then.
I'd probably put
Yeah.
it in my top 2, probably. Just this movie just blew me away. The visuals, like I'd say more on the visual side it blew me away. The story was good too. I thought the writing was very good. But the visuals are like the main star of this movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then there was a horse in the hospital. How did he get there?
Wait, what? What did I miss?
That's just John Mulaney's joke
Oh.
that everybody won't shut the fuck up about.
Oh.
I do like that. This is one of the times I'm glad that the material and the end credit stingers kind of set it up for sequels and such, because I know they're already planning like an all-female spin-off, and they're already planning a sequel to this movie, and this is the
That's
kind
the
of universe
interesting-
I want to see more from.
That's the interesting thing is, I would say that 2099 is more of a popular character than Noir is.
Yeah, and I think that's
kinda
what a lot of
weird
people
they
were
chose
like
him.
wondering of, like, where was he during this movie, and then he pops up in the end credits to like probably the best
Yeah.
joke of the movie, but
He did the meme, you guys. He did the
He
meme.
pointed.
he pointed.
He did the meme.
I got it.
love it. 10 out of 10. Better than Rick rolling. Am I
I would
right?
say
It
I
is.
will say that that's a better meme end credits than Wreck-It Ralph was.
I can't think of any other better end credit scenes.
Yeah, like the audience we saw was just dying through the whole thing.
There was the Howard the Duck scene, but that wasn't really funny.
That was more like,
It was
it's
just-
him.
It's that
Yeah,
guy.
it's
I
the
know
duck.
him.
Pretty much.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else I liked about it, because I loved everything about it. But like, what was your guys' favorite scene in the movie?
I like the Dr. Octopus.
Oh,
scene
you beat me
because
to it.
It was like, whoa, really? I don't even think they say her name when she's in the classroom
Yeah.
doing that thing. She was just a lady on the
Yep.
screen.
Hmm, she was just a
then it
scientist.
was like-
it was a good twist.
And then it was like, boom, big reveal. I'm a pickle.
Ah! Pickle Rick.
Oh my god.
Well,
You guys need to stop
would you
with
still
that.
would you guys still like this movie if the big twist was oh no, if one of the spider people was Pickle Rick Spider-Man? Pickle Parker.
I'd be okay
Oh my
with that.
god. Don't even start.
He says,
That's
hey,
my
hey,
new
Miles.
spider sona.
Pickle Parker. Peter Pickle.
My favorite part was when they teased a Clone High sequel in the background.
That was also very
That
good.
was like 2 seconds.
And it was the best 2 seconds of
Fucking
the
loser.
movie.
It was the best 2 seconds of the movie. No.
But what will they do with Gandhi?
I don't want Clone High coming back without Gandhi.
No, I'm kind of with Kyle. I think the whole fight with Dr. Octopus was probably one of the best parts of the movie.
I didn't say the fight, I said the big reveal. Listen,
Oh.
god
Well,
damn
I think
it.
the fight is the one where they're all swinging through the forest and shit. I thought that was really well, and how they cut around the trailer to make sure that she wasn't revealed.
Hmm.
Yeah, the
Well,
colors were amazing in that scene.
I mean, you beat me to it. That's exactly the scene I was going to say, where they're swinging through the forest to get away from this incredibly hot Doc Octopus.
There it is.
I mean, this Doc Octopus is what I said.
Doc Octopus.
And then he said, good news, you don't need the monitor. And then he tossed it. And that was fun.
It was funny. This was a very funny Spider-Man movie. Like, how do you guys feel about the other Spider-Man movies?
I really liked Homecoming. I feel like Melanie and I are in the minority who really like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies.
Ew, gross.
I don't know. I thought they were fun. I liked them.
Icky.
And I mean, I still think Spider-Man 2 is probably the number 2 Spider-Man movie.
It was a number 2, all right.
I mean, I think it's still pretty good. But you know, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, they're all right. I don't know if they
I
aged as
like
well.
the Raimi ones. I think they're goofy enough fun. I don't know if I'd say
How do you
they're
get away with it?
great. I don't like the Andrew Garfield ones. I think they're too melodramatic. I like Homecoming a lot. I would have said Homecoming was the best Spider-Man movie if it weren't for Into the Spider-Verse, which just... Why even bother making live-action Spider-Man movies anymore when they can't do what this movie does?
Like, I'm fine if they want to keep putting Spider-Man, like, making Spider-Man MCU movies, but yeah, I'm kind of with you. Like, I just watched Venom for the first time the other night, and it was okay. But just, like, Sony, just do this. I mean, you like, hit it out of the park with this movie. Just make more of this.
Yeah. Like, the whole comic style is great. The animation is great. You just can't get any of that out of another live-action Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
There's no point to it.
Exactly, yeah. This is what I was saying earlier with, like, we're now getting into the phase of 3D animation where you can just start doing weird shit. And this is the kind of weird shit you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More movies like this, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Less movies like A Secret Life of Pets 2.
We'll get to Secret Life of Pets 2 in just a little bit. Hold your horses.
Man, I just feel like I don't have much else to say about Into the Spider-Verse rather than it's amazing. Everyone should go see it. It's a blasty blast.
Yeah. Well, I the last thing I want to say is, one, when we're recording this, the Golden Globes are going on, and Spider-Verse beat The Incredibles for the Golden Globe this year, which I'm very happy about.
Before I saw this movie, I would never have said, "Oh, I hope The Incredibles 2 loses," but here we are.
The thing is like, it's not that I don't think Incredibles 2 isn't deserving of an award if they wanted to give it to it. I'm just glad that at least the Golden Globes, I can't speak to the Oscars yet, that they didn't just auto-pick Disney's movie. They actually gave it to the movie that really deserved it.
And the Oscar goes to Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Honestly, I can see that happening.
Be amazing.
And then they'll play all the funny meme scenes on the big screen, and everyone in the audience will go,
if Wreck-It Ralph wins and they don't play an orchestral version of Rick Astley's song, I'm going to be upset. I mean, I'll be upset if Wreck-It Ralph wins in general, but...
Now I want it to win, so they do that.
And we're back.
So yeah.
Did you drop out and miss everything you said about Spider-Verse, man?
No, it was just really, really buggy on my end, so I left the call and came back.
Now he's
awesome.
back.
And now I can hear you guys. Isn't that incredible?
That's not just incredible, it's Incredibles 2.
Jesus. Well, Kyle's back now, and that means we can move on to wild speculation about
Secret
how
Life of
2019
Pets?
movies are going to be.
That Louis C.K. got dropped out of Secret Life of Pets because he's a serial masturbator.
Anyway. So, starting 2019 off, which... It's weird. We don't have any animated movies, as far as I'm aware, coming out in January, but...
for the first time.
Yeah, I don't know. But we're getting a sequel to the Lego movie. And I think, from the trailers at least, I'm excited. I don't think this is going to be nearly as good as the first one. I don't think they're going to capture the same magic they had with it. But I don't think any of the Lego movies have really let me down so far, so I have no reason to believe this won't be good.
I saw the trailer for it when I saw Spider-Verse today, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, I liked the first Lego movie, but just there isn't really much in the trailer that does much for me. Like, it had some funny scenes, but nothing that made me be like, oh, I need to see this, or, oh, I'm so glad we're getting a sequel to the Lego movie. Like, not that it looked bad or anything, just kind of, yeah, okay. That's more or less what I expected.
Well, I mean that's fair. I don't know. I just been really enjoying all the Lego movies. I think they've kind of been like they're in a decline in terms of quality, but not like in a very sharp decline.
I will say I prefer the Lego Batman movie over the first Lego movie.
I would rather watch the first Lego movie over Batman, and I would rather watch Batman over Ninjago. But
dropping some hot takes,
right? But I don't know. I think Lord and Miller are still at least producing on this movie like they did for Spider-Verse. And they got everybody back, and it's still got that really cool, like, stop-motion-y looking animation.
I bet Disney's really regretting kicking them off of Solo right about now.
Right?
Solo was a solo discipline.
It's on Netflix now, so I might have to actually go watch it for once, but maybe, I don't know.
Maybe. I might give it a chance before I shit on it.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm excited for Lego Movie 2. I want to go see it when it comes out.
I'm sure it will be fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will be a fine... Hell, it might even be good.
Yeah. There you go.
But the reason there's no animated movies coming out in January is because they have to give the whole month to A Dog's Way Home. What could compete?
I know, right? That's going to be the family event of the month.
It looks so good.
I've already pre-ordered my tickets.
I'm already in line for the theater.
Dustin's recording this from outside.
For A Dog's Way... Hey, everybody standing with me. Everyone say, we can't wait for A Dog's Way Home. Nobody said that because
Spoiler.
everyone can wait for it.
Spoiler alert, it makes its way home.
Befriends a cougar.
That's no spoiler alert because you see it in the trailer.
I know, that trailer
yeah.
tells you everything you need to know.
Which is good because that just means less reason to go see it.
Exactly.
I wonder
It
if
was
they
the
knew.
shortest movie I watched.
I wonder if they knew there was just no chance, so they just said, "Okay, well, just put the ending in there."
I mean, it's coming out in January, and it's usually the dump month, so...
Yeah.
But Lego Movie's going to be out on February 8th if you want to go see that.
Wolf.
The next movie, a couple weeks later, DreamWorks is putting out what I assume is going to be the final chapter of the How to Train Your Dragon saga, even though they said the last Shrek movie was the last one, and we all know where that's going. I don't know. I've never watched the TV show that they put out for How to Train Your Dragons, but I think the first two are some of the most consistently solid movies that DreamWorks puts out. And this one looks pretty much up the same alley. It looks beautiful. I'm sure it'll have the same kind of quality of action to comedy. I know my wife, who adores these movies, is excited. So, yeah.
My opinion on these movies is weird. I think they're very good movies. I really enjoyed when I watched them, but I never have any desire to watch them again.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Like, it's weird since I would say they're very, very good. I liked them a lot when I watched them, but then, like, anytime I'm looking through my movies for stuff to watch, I'm like, this maybe, but I never feel like rewatching How to Train Your Dragon. I just feel like I saw it the one time, that was good enough.
I'm kind of like that with the first one, but only because I feel like I've seen it enough times that I kind of want to give it some more space before I watch it again. But I've only seen the second one a couple of times, so I wouldn't mind watching that again sometime before this next one comes out.
I like in the trailer when Toothless does the funny haha dance and then Hiccup says, "Seriously?"
Yeah, there are a few cringy moments in the trailers for this, but
any trailer that uses a seriously joke should re-edit their trailer to not have that joke.
I feel like, and I would need to go back and watch the old trailers to really back up this claim.
At least they didn't give up the whole movie like the second one.
Right.
No.
Yeah, they kind of blew the reveal on that one, but
Yeah.
I think if I remember
Big
right, I even
reveal.
think the director is saying that they were kind of unhappy that they did that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Well, what do you guys think of this?
Like you said, I think it looks like more of the same, which is good. You know, it looks like it'll be a good movie. I'm sure it'll be very enjoyable. But at the same time, it didn't really have that much of an effect on me. I don't know. I guess it's like I was saying earlier. I want more different. I want more cartoony, wacky animation.
Mm-hmm.
And How to Train Your Dragon is just, you know, more of the same. More, look what we can do with these environments. Look how cool we can make these flying scenes, which is cool, but I guess just not really what I want right now.
Right.
And that's more a personal thing than anything
Sure,
against the movie.
I think I'm only okay with it in that sense, only because I'm a fan of the series so far, and that I mean, it's staying consistent with it. And if they're gonna keep making more, or they kept making more of these, so and they've all been consistently good. So again, it's like its track record is like the last two were good. I can't imagine that the third one will shit the bed.
You know what's weird to think about? DreamWorks didn't have a single movie last year.
You know, you're right. Well, because
Not a one.
they had two in... Did they have two or three in 2017? Because I know they had Boss Baby, Captain Underpants.
Captain Underpants.
I feel like they had a third one. I don't know.
How to Train Your Dragon 6.
Yes,
How did we
Kyle.
forget that one?
Right. Yeah. Kyle, do you have anything you want to say about this?
I don't know. I like Chris Sanders. I don't even know if he's attached to this movie.
I don't know.
I'm not sure either. I also like Chris Sanders. Lilo and Stitch is my favorite Disney animated movie.
Everybody's like, oh, well, you see Toothless is a cat. And no, he's not. He's an axolotl.
Yeah.
I think he acts like a cat.
He's an axolotl. Wake up,
Jesus.
people.
Actually, he's a dragon. I don't know how you guys missed that.
I know.
Oh, shit.
The movie's
you're
called
right.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Right?
I don't know. It's just more of the same. It's we gotta save the rec center, but it's we gotta save the dragon
kinda,
universe.
yeah.
Toothless, we gotta
threw
save
a-
the rec center.
But Toothless gets a girlfriend this time.
I gotta be honest,
Yeah,
I
and
would be
then
I would be more interested if they were actually trying to save a rec center.
A Viking
I-
rec center.
Yeah, that would raise a lot of questions about this world. I'd be like, okay, I'm a little interested in this now.
Oh my god.
But they were like, hey, we don't have that interesting of a story. Let's throw a super villain in here.
Right.
So they also got a super
Yeah.
villain.
I feel like How to Train Your Dragon's villains has always been kind of its weak link.
Yeah, I don't remember the one in the second movie being too memorable.
I don't even remember what the deal was in the first one. It was like the Alpha Dragon or something.
Yeah, and
Every time I
couldn't
watch
tell
it,
you what
I forget.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what the bad
It was
guy's
like the
motivation
queen?
was.
Yeah.
It's the Dragon Queen,
Yeah.
and it can something dumb like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, whenever I
Had
think
elephant
back to
tusks.
How to Train Your Dragon, I remember most of the movie except for the big ending climax. Then I'm like, I don't remember anything that happens at the end.
Oh yeah, it was a big fat guy with dreadlocks, and that was the
Yeah.
bad guy.
Yeah, I will say that's a step up. At least you have a face you can put to the villain. At least it's like an actual character.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like it was a good character. It was still kind of forgettable.
He was called the Bewildered Beast.
Wow, I love him now.
He's my favorite.
I'm sold.
Now that I know it's him. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be good. I'm not like super hyped for it because it's the third How to Train Your Dragon movie.
But it's, I don't know. I'm excited.
I can see why people
Well,
would
at
be
least
excited.
one of us
Yeah.
is.
I can see why people would be excited for it. I'll say that.
Well, I know
think
a
it's people
movie
that
that
want
literally
husbandos.
nobody's excited to see.
Hey now, that seems awfully presumptuous.
You know what? I feel pretty safe in my assumption.
Maybe I have a thing or two to say about this.
Do you have something to say about Ugly Dolls, Dustin?
Well, why don't you let our audience know about Ugly Dolls first?
I don't know shit about Ugly Dolls. I know they were.
Wanda Sykes?
It looks like it wants to be Trolls. It's a musical about ugly dolls. I know it was a toy. I don't know if they still.
Did you guys do an episode about Trolls?
I don't know if we did a review of Trolls.
I like that movie.
I thought we did.
I didn't really care for it.
That's one of those movies that, like Hotel Transylvania, I don't really give a shit about the story. It just looks so cool. It looks so good that it's just a visual feast.
I guess.
It's so different. At least at the time, it was very different from all the other animated movies coming out, especially DreamWorks, where I was like, this is great. I want more of this, please. Look at this world and these characters and these designs.
Well, I mean, if you want more, there's a Netflix show like every other DreamWorks.
It's not the same.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
it doesn't look like the movie. Old good, new bad. But so Ugly Dolls is based on a line of dolls, Ugly Dolls.
Yeah.
It's an artist named David Horvath or something.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I'm big into the vinyl scene, and he's kind of big into the vinyl scene. He mostly makes dolls, but he also makes vinyl toys.
that's cool.
I know about him. He's all right. It's kind of weird that they gave him a movie.
He not subtle or nuanced.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of like how this movie looks. Like, again, I'm sure it'll be like very shallow, pop dance party movie like Trolls was. But I like that the characters look different enough from other stuff going on. I'm sure there's not going to be much substance to the style, but I was somewhat pleasantly surprised at the trailer just because it looked kind of neat.
Wanda Sykes is the seal of quality.
Well, wasn't she in Paranorman?
I think so.
And Paranorman
She was
is
the-
wonderful.
Yeah, she was the cop, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She was the cop lady, but I don't like her.
You don't like authority, do you, Kyle?
I don't like her. She's like the Black Ellen DeGeneres, and not in a good way.
That's one of my favorite American Dad jokes. Stan was telling a joke to Francine, and she didn't think it was very funny. But he says, Jackson thought it was funny. And he knew about Wanda Sykes before anybody.
American Dad's
Oh.
the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have zero interest in Ugly Dolls, and I just
Bro, same.
I just don't. I
I'm
don't think it's gonna
probably
do
not-
well, only because Detective Pikachu comes out the exact same day.
Well, before we get to that, I'll just say my thoughts on Ugly Dolls. I'm probably not going to see it in theaters, but given that I think it looks all right, I might rent it at Redbox when it comes out.
There
or at
you
least
go.
Netflix.
And return it late.
Yeah.
Late. Accrue those late fees.
But let's move on to a movie that actually does look interesting.
Man,
The Secret Life of Pets?
almost, Kyle, almost.
We know how excited you are, but please give some other movies a little time.
I should just rename this episode is just Secret Life of Pets and a bunch of other movies. But no, yeah, Detective Pikachu is coming out, and man, when they said they were
It's not
doing
animated?
like live action Pokemon and they were gonna make all the Pokemon look realistic, I just didn't know how to feel. Then the trailer came out, and I'm on board now.
Yeah, no one's gonna give a shit about the story for this movie. Everyone's
I
gonna
don't
see
give a
this
fuck
movie. This
what it
movie's gonna
is.
make zillions and billions of dollars because everyone wants to see how the Pokemon look.
Just like
No one's gonna care about
Prince
anything
money.
else.
I think they found a good balance between their cartoony 2D design and interpreting them into a real world setting. It's not like those people on online where they try to like make them look like real animals and try to interpret them that way. I think the way they went with this so far is a good happy medium.
Agreed. I think some of them look a little weird. They don't really give you a good shot of Psyduck, but I think every time you see him, it's kind of like, whoa.
Yeah, I think Psyduck kind of looks a little strange only because he still has the cartoony eyes where it's the big white eye with the little dot pupil.
I feel like Psyduck is kind of a no-win situation since those eyes do look weird, but I think I would be more upset if he didn't have them.
It's true. I think Mr. Mime looks exactly the way I'd expect him to look, but at the same time, he just looks weird.
Oh yeah, he looks horrifying.
Mr. Mime stole the
He
show.
did.
He looks horrifying, but that's exactly how he would look.
Yeah. Jigglypuff, I never imagined it being fuzzy.
I think Jigglypuff looks good.
It's kind of creepy.
I
But
would say most of the Pokemon in the trailer look very good.
like I love the way Bulbasaur looks. I think Charizard looks great. I'm trying to think of who else was in there.
Jigglypuff kind of has an old man
Yeah, a
face,
little bit.
so I don't really like it too much.
I've seen some people say that they wish they looked closer to their animated designs, like when you put Pokemon in 3D games.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that would not be nearly as interesting. I feel like the way they went with it is the only way a live action Pokemon movie could be done. If they just looked like CGI versions of the normal designs, who would give a shit? We've already seen that. I want to see these Pokemon looking weird and freaky and horrific.
Well, it's not only that, as if you literally just took like the CG model of Pikachu and just dropped him into this movie, I think it would take me out of it. Like, I wouldn't believe that Pikachu is really there.
Exactly.
Because he has no texture to him.
would
I
feel
like that these characters have like fur and scales, so it makes them look like they belong in the real world. They're not just like these smooth, featureless monsters. But they're not so extreme as they look too real, where they're not.
Yeah.
They don't look like these fantasy creatures.
I think the only one that looks maybe a little too much is Greninja. Like, that's the only one where I'm like, whoa, maybe dial it back a little.
Okay, yeah, I agree. They need to dial back Greninja
His
a little
eyes
bit.
are weird. His nostrils are
We've
weird.
only seen the mask though. We haven't seen too much of it.
You can kind of
movie.
see it in the trailer a little bit. I can see where that. I don't know. Maybe they'll give us a better shot of it, and maybe that's just the action shots of him. Maybe don't give up the best representation. But from what I've been presented so far, I think Greninja needs to dial back a bit.
Yeah. Kyle, thoughts on Detective Pokemon?
Pokemon.
I can't wait.
Yeah, me too. This is probably the movie I'm most looking forward to. I don't even give a shit if it's good.
I mean, I think them going with Detective Pikachu was, the more I think about it, a smart move rather than trying to like adapt one of the games. Because I don't know, just like say you wanted to adapt Red and Blue, you would either have to condense a lot of the game and not.
The 3-part Hobbit movie.
I mean, it would be like how they did Pokemon Origins, or Pokemon Origins, or no?
You just have to,
It's not
speed through a lot of it.
Is
Just
it
be like,
Origins or
okay, yeah, you get this.
What was the other one?
Is it Pokemon I Choose You?
No, they had two. What was the one series where they were doing like little vignettes from each region?
Generations.
Yes. Okay, so Origins is the one where they go through red and blue. Generations is...
Origins is the one where Squirtle was biting Charmander's neck, and it was horrifically screwy.
Yeah, that one.
If I remember correctly.
But yeah, if you're going to adapt that movie, it'd just be like that, where you don't get to know any of the gym leaders. You'd have to speed right through that, and it would just be like... the story would feel rushed. But I feel like with this... even though it is based on a game, I feel like they can take a lot of liberties with it, and they're not so beholden to the games, and they kind of get a little crazy with it.
Yeah, I like that. With a story like this, you can really take your time in this world. If they just did the adaptation, like you said, they'd have to rush through it. You wouldn't get to sit and actually enjoy these Pokemon. With this, you can have a nice little story, and you can kind of see the sights a little more.
And the more I think about it, I think this movie is not going to spend a lot of time trying to get you, convince you of the world of Pokemon. Because I think Pokemon as a franchise is just so ingrained in pop culture now. They're not going to have to, like, give you, like, a 5-minute spiel of, like...
This is the world of Pokemon.
Exactly. These are Pokemon. This is what they do. This is the world they're about.
I bet you anything they're gonna do.
I mean,
that.
I think they'll probably do like that stupid intro they do in all the other movies, where it's like a 1-minute thing at the beginning. I think they're gonna
do it just like the game.
What?
Are you a boy or a girl?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do that. Welcome to the world of Pokemon.
Yeah, but I just
you
don't.
can call me the
that
Pokemon
speech.
professor.
I just don't want them to do a lot of like audience hand holding, trying to explain to you this universe. I think a lot of us, a lot of people in the world, kind of get Pokemon. It's like. It's a world full of people and these colorful monsters, and the monsters can shoot electricity and shit. So I think we're all on board with that.
That's another reason it's a good thing they're not just doing like a trainer's journey. They don't have to be like, okay, so Pokemon trainers, when they're 10, they can leave house with Pokemon, get badge, do all this, blah, 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 blah. With this movie, they can just say, look, there's Pokemon and there's people. Pokemon are like animals. And
there's even a line in the trailer where the detective guy is like, you were wanting to be a Pokemon trainer, and that just kind of never panned out for you. I don't even think they're gonna like go into that too deep. They're like, that'll probably be the throwaway line. They won't explain what a trainer is.
I
don't really think
I
they
left
need
the Pokemon trainer life behind.
And if anyone ever has any questions, just lean over to the
while.
6-year-old you're with, and they'll explain it to you.
What's happening now?
Duh, Mom. It's Pokemon. It's Pikachu. Stupid idiot. Why did he even come?
What's a Greninja?
God, Mom.
I want to see Pikachu do the Fortnite
Jesus
dance.
He does, I
Start
think.
flossing everywhere.
No Fortnite
You have
dances.
to wait. You have to wait until after the credits, and he'll Fortnite dance to Rick Ashley's song.
Jesus Christ, guys.
Have some air horns going, blaring in the background.
I
Buy Fortnite on Switch today.
They have a Fortnite bundle for a Switch. That makes me
They
sad.
do. How many times can we say Fortnite in this episode?
Just start saying it over and over again. Maybe we'll get a brand deal.
Fork knife.
Oh!
Take that.
The Secret Life
Gen
of Pets
Z.
2 brought to you by Fortnite.
I can see that, to be honest.
Will that be on the algorithm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I just say Fortnite and Secret Life of Pets enough, it'll get us the hits.
Maybe 6 people will see this episode.
Oh my god.
But no, I think this movie, like I said, who gives a shit about the story? Not to say I think the story will be bad. I'm sure it'll be fine. But that's not what anyone seeing this movie cares about. They want to see the Pokemon. And
I'm here to see Pokemon and the weird ways they're interpreted.
Yeah, this movie, like you said, this movie's playing it very, very smart. I feel like they're doing everything right for this movie to get people to see it.
Yeah.
Not in
They'll do
not
a tie-in to Godzilla.
Yeah. like not in a like manipulative, they'll see this trash way, but in a they know what people want to see. They know the perfect way to do this movie. And I think they're very smart for doing it. This movie could have been a huge disaster, but it seems like everyone's mostly on board with it.
Legendary's pretty good, but I would laugh if they do a tie-in with Godzilla. With, like, after credits scene, it's like, what's that Pokemon? And it's Godzilla.
I don't think that's a Pokemon. And then you see,
I want to see the...
and then you hear the
I would love that
And
so
it
hard.
goes-
That'd be hilarious.
Then he says, "Oh boy," and then it fades to black.
And then Danny DeVito will step in for just one line. As Detective Pikachu.
I was gonna bring that up. How at first I wasn't sure how I felt about Ryan Reynolds playing Pikachu. After seeing the trailer, I think he does a good job.
I'm okay
But at the
with
same
it.
time, yeah, I think it works. But at the same time, I do kind of miss that because in the Detective Pikachu game, he was kind of the more gruff, like I'm Pikachu, my voice is more down here, and fuck all of you, sort of thing. And I think that
I drink my coffee black.
I feel like that's kind of missing from this because I feel like that juxtaposition is really cool. I think it really works and is part of the reason why Detective Pikachu in the games is so I don't want to say charming, but
I
you know,
would.
yeah, I guess charming is kind of the word. I think it's cool having this cute Pikachu being gruff and like I hate life. And Ryan Reynolds,
That's Pikachu's catchphrase, though.
yeah, is go Pikachu, I hate life. But I think Ryan Reynolds does a good job. I think
Yeah,
he fits.
I think it'll
he
be
works. Maybe not quite as well, but he still works.
Yeah.
He's been a Green Lantern, a Deadpool, and a Pikachu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say it's cool how into it he's getting, posting stuff about. Like, I'm sure any other actor would just be like, "Oh, just it's fucking whatever. I'm doing this Pokemon movie. I don't know what that is." But Ryan Reynolds kind of goes all out on Twitter with it.
I feel like he's
respect to
real
it.
excited about this.
Yeah, so that's cool. Good for him and good for them. I'm sure this movie will be a
Big hit.
yeah.
Are we done yet? This is like 2
All right.
hours.
Yeah,
Fine.
we need to get to the reason we're all here.
Yeah, so let's finally do it. The time is now. We're gonna talk about
Secret Life of Pets 2. Secret Life of Pets 2.
Yes.
Did you guys see the trailer with the funny rabbit?
Which one?
The rabbit was a
All of
superhero.
them.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't like that they're doing like every couple weeks we're gonna put out a character trailer, and it's like why?
I mean, I think that would.
Then how?
I think that's a neat idea, having a trailer for like specific characters. It's just it would have been nice if it were for literally any other movie.
Exactly.
Like if they
Yeah, I
did
love
this
this
sort of thing
concept
for the
literally anything else.
like imagine if they did this shit for the Avengers, where each character kind of got their own trailer to show off. What
That'd
they're
be
all about.
great.
That would be cool. I'm not a big Avengers guy, but at least I can see potential in that. Who gives a shit about Secret Life of Pets 2? Oh, the truth comes out. Dustin's not looking forward to it.
I didn't like the first one. Why would I want to go see the second one?
Well, here's the thing. I feel a little bad shitting on it because I never saw the first one, but I had zero interest. It looks so bland and boring and dull.
Dustin, I'm going to tell you the entire plot right here. There's this
Animal talk.
the animals talk. There's one who's the straight man. There's one who's the dirty fuck up, and shenanigans ensue.
Have
They
you
get
guys
lost
ever
in
seen
New
that?
York, and then they find their way home.
Guys, where are we? I don't think we're in owner's apartment anymore.
It is trope the movie.
Remember the Smurfs when they went to New York? I don't think we're in Smurf Village.
And they played Guitar
Anymore.
Hero with Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
Did either of you see the old MTV show Where My Dog's At? Did we talk about that when we did the MTV reviews?
I can't say I did.
No.
Since then, I've streamed a couple episodes. Like, I saw it when it was airing, but it had been so long that I couldn't really talk about it. I recently streamed a couple episodes. Boy, is it a TV show. They make fun of celebrities, and the dogs are like, ha, we're smart, celebrity dumb, but we make funny line about them.
Yeah, I don't know. From what little they've shown of the sequel, I feel like it's gonna have Cars 2 syndrome, in the sense that we're gonna take a character
Secret agents?
from the first movie that was kind of funny, and a lot of people liked, and we're gonna make the entire movie centered on them, and that's what they're gonna do with the rabbit.
Give the audience what they want.
Yeah, we did that with Cars 2, and it turned out to be a steaming pile.
Well, they can't focus on Louis C.K. Dog anymore because
Exactly.
it's not Louis C.K. Dog.
So they traded him for an equally worse person.
Wow.
How's the wife, Oswald?
Ooh, ouch.
Oh.
That's a low blow. I don't know if I can get on board. I don't know if I can support this show anymore.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh shit!
Kyle's
I'm
gonna
leaving.
get our funding cut.
I'm out of here. I'm gonna tell the police on you.
Kyle's already on the lam.
Please don't.
You said bad thing about celebrity.
Jesus.
Yeah, this movie looks like nothing. It just looks like totally nothing at all. Like, it doesn't even look laughably bad. It just looks like,
Bad.
yeah,
I think white rice has more spice than this movie
Yeah.
does.
pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much how I felt about the first one. Really? This is the movie you're giving a sequel to?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it's Illumination, so I'm not surprised.
Honestly,
Remember the trailer? The poodle rocked out. Isn't that
And then you
funny?
did it
It
again.
was. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm
was-
looking at this. I'm looking at this list of movies I have written down. This is kind of going to be the year of unnecessary sequels.
Yeah, remember what you were saying earlier about 2018 being a year of mediocre movies? I don't see anything different about this year. I mean, at least last year we got Spider-Man. I know opinions on Incredibles 2 were mixed, but come on, compare that to the movies coming out this year.
Yeah. So, not only are we getting a sequel to Secret Life of Pets, was anyone clamoring for a fourth Toy Story movie?
No.
Just like, I don't know. I have real mixed
Kyle, were
feelings.
you clamoring for a Toy Story 4?
I was like, holy shit, they didn't wrap it up.
Wow, I stand corrected, I
movie.
guess.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm not in the minority saying that Toy Story 3, I think, ended the perfect way it should have. I didn't need any more stories from that universe. I thought it went out on a high note. And even in the one of the trailers for this movie, the characters point out, it's like, I thought they were finished making those. Like, no, they made like another one. And it's like, they're pointing out the fact that they should have been done with these already. They don't need to make more Toy
Yeah.
Stories.
It was the first trailer was such a misfire since it came out the same day as the Detective Pikachu trailer that they had to release another trailer a couple days later.
They released like 3
Yeah.
trailers.
Yeah, because no one gave a shit because Detective Pikachu was all anyone was talking about. And
Exactly.
for good reason. At least that's interesting.
And
Yeah.
they released 2 Toy Stories, and then they're like, oh, the Lion King. We're doing Lion King too, you
Yeah.
guys.
I don't know, man. I'm sure I'll end up seeing this, but I'm not, until I see like a story trailer to know what the story of this is about. I'm not excited at all for Toy Story 4.
Yeah, I was talking to my mom about it earlier today, how, like, I would have been fine if they just kept doing, like, those little, like, short stories they were doing
Yeah.
about them, like Toy Story Time Forgot. Like, if they needed to do more Toy Story, I think doing those little specials here and there every once in a while,
Yeah,
that's
those are fine.
Steve Purcell worked on those.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that one that he directed actually had a lot of work. I haven't seen it, but I heard pretty good things about it. I heard it had a lot of effort put into it, kind of creative.
Doesn't like Trigger Studios or
Yeah, Trigger does a whole
Gynex.
animation sequence.
Oh yeah,
it.
for the dinosaur one, yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah,
And like stuff like that, I would be fine with. But does it need a fourth movie?
it's like how Shrek doesn't need a 5th movie. It's just,
Shrek didn't need a third movie.
it's true. I
And,
don't know.
and like going by the plot for this movie with the spork, like it's like, oh, I'm not a toy, I'm a spork. That could be interesting. That's something they could make a little short about.
yeah,
But a whole movie?
yeah. I like I said, I need to see more first before I
Yeah.
get on board with this. Just like what I've been presented with now, I'm just like,
Not doing it for me.
it's not doing it for me. I just don't see the point. Like,
Yeah.
I know why they're making this is because they need to make more Toy Story toys. Because that's
I'll
their-
be honest, I didn't even think Toy Story 3 was as good as the first two. Yeah, I said it.
second one was the best.
Second one's the best one. I feel like 3's good. Don't get me wrong. I think 3 is a good movie.
I think in
But just something about it
Yeah.
wasn't as good as the first two.
honestly,
Whoopi Goldberg, that's the seal of quality.
what?
She was in the third movie.
Was she?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Oh,
She was the octopus.
Oh, right. She had like one line.
Whoopi Goldberg. That's right.
yeah.
I don't know. I think 2 is the best one. I think I would watch 3 over the first one, though.
I don't know if I can agree.
It's a close call. I will say
Yeah.
it's a close call. But yeah,
I feel like 3 just wasn't as funny as the first 2, and like I know that wasn't its main goal. You know, it was more to be sad and more serious. And I think it does that well. But at the same time, I would rather watch the first 2 over.
all right.
But I'd rather watch 3 over 4, and I say that without even having seen it.
Well, we'll have to
chew
wait.
on that one, Pixar.
We'll have to wait till June to really make a decision on that.
Or October if you don't want to see it in theaters.
It's true. But a movie that really wants to be the Lego movie, but this is more of a who gives a fuck kind of movie. Does anyone remember that Playmobil is a company, let alone why they need their own movie?
Yeah, when Toys R Us was still around, you'd see Playmobil everywhere.
Well, I guess I
Too
didn't
little,
frequent
too
toy
late
stores
now.
enough.
Yeah.
This could have really helped Toys R Us make a comeback.
I don't know. I mean, this movie is just like these kids get warped into the land of Playmobil, and it's like, look at all these generic sets that we have. It's not. I feel it's just like Playmobil saw the success of the Lego movies, and they're like, we need to get in on that, but we don't have any of the properties that would
need a
drive.
piece of that pie.
Yeah.
They got Ghostbusters.
I just don't think they're gonna use them
Yeah, probably not.
because it's like, look, pirates, cowboys. It's all that like just really generic stuff, and I feel like that's what this movie's gonna be. It's just to be very generic.
You mean that really, really generic stuff that they put in the Lego movie, but it somehow worked?
I don't know.
Like pirates and cowboys?
I don't know. I just feel like the
Space.
Lego has like enough charm put into it, and just the writing of the Lego movie seems like, even just from the trailers, seem better than this. I don't know.
How would you guys react if it turned out this was a stealth sequel to the 2016 Ghostbusters?
I would shit my pants right
I'd
then
be
and
very
there.
surprised. Would not see that coming.
I would have. And I would turn to you guys and I'd say, yeah, all of a sudden it's not such a stupid idea now, is it? I mean, what else is there to say about Playmobil the movie? I don't have anything
give
to
a shit
say
about it.
this. There's nothing to say.
I don't. There hasn't been a trailer for this yet, but they're making a sequel to the Angry.
There has.
What?
Oh, you mean I thought you were talking about Playmobil.
Oh, sorry, I was segueing into the
Sorry, I
next
jumped
movie.
the gun. Okay.
Yeah, Angry Birds movie 2 is coming out next year, and there hasn't been like anything about it. I just saw on the list of movies coming out.
Oh boy.
I don't know. The first one was okay, but I don't think it needs a sequel or had enough people that saw it to warrant one.
Yeah. Kyle, what did you think of the first Angry Birds movie?
It was okay.
That's kind of where I'm at too. I thought it looked
It's
very
in my-
nice.
It's in my top 1,000 movies.
It's probably up
Where
there.
specifically?
Probably in the lower part, 900.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, it's a fine little movie. It looks nice. I wouldn't say it's like super funny,
No.
but the thing is, I feel like I'm not a big fan of the franchise overall. Like, you know, I've never really got into the games, but I will say, this studio Rovio puts a lot into the artwork sometimes. Like, some of the games have like just gorgeous artwork. That's enough to at least get me somewhat interested. I know like some of their shorts, they're just like gorgeous looking. And like I said, the first movie looked pretty good. Oh, there's one good thing about this movie though. It's being directed by Thorup Van Orman,
Oh yeah, the Flapjack
creator
guy.
of So that at least has me a little more interested. I'm curious as to how different this will be. If they'll give him free reign to do what he wants with it. Probably not. But
I have serious doubts.
yeah, I doubt they'll actually say, hey, put your weirdness all over this movie. But I'm sure it'll be more interesting than the first.
Do you think people are gonna make birdsonas after this
Oh,
movie?
probably.
You guys haven't?
Can't say that I have.
Wow, someone missed the bus on this one.
Well, speaking of birds,
Oh,
I can't remember the last time.
more like turds.
I honestly can't think of the last time I saw a trailer where I was on board with something and then immediately lost interest, like halfway through.
Yep, pretty much.
So, like, Spies in Disguise is coming out in September, and the trailer like starts off. It's like Will Smith as like a James Bond looking spy, and then like halfway through, Tom Holland turns him into a pigeon.
Yep, this is me. You might be wondering how I got in this situation.
Pretty much, yeah. Just what the fuck? This is Blue Sky, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask.
God.
I was gonna say, what studio do you guys prefer, Blue Sky or Illumination? If you had to pick one.
I will say Blue
I would
Sky
pick Suicide.
only because they probably had more movies that I would watch over Illumination.
They do have the Peanuts movie.
They had the Peanuts movie, whereas I can't think of a single Illumination movie I'd like willingly go out of my way to watch.
I mean, I'd say the first Despicable Me
See?
is all right.
I've never even seen the third one. I don't even know if I've watched the second one.
I saw the second one.
Someone on YouTube made a movie. It's Minions without the minions. It's like 14 minutes long.
Believe
Oh,
that.
man.
That's probably my favorite Illumination movie.
Because it's so short.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a whole
Remember
lot to
Rio? Rio was a great movie.
Remember how the...
Remember Rio 2?
I kind of forgot they
No.
made a Rio 2.
I forgot they made a Rio 1.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Remember Horton Hears a Who?
I do
will
now.
say Blue Sky had the better Dr. Seuss movie of the two.
Wait, who? I don't think they made Horton, did they?
Blue Sky made Horton.
I thought they did.
Blue
Yeah.
Sky made Horton.
And
then
Illumination made the Lorax.
What about the Lorax?
That's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
More like the Snorax.
I think I watched like half of the Lorax because I'd never seen it, so I put it on and I'm like, I'm bored and stopped watching it.
Remember what I said earlier about how really good animation can carry a movie if the story's not very good?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I take that back because the Lorax is gorgeous looking movie, but it's so bad.
It's so bad.
It's just not a good movie.
But it inspired so much porn.
Remember when the Lorax was advocating for cars?
Just like the Lorax
was
does.
Right.
Classic Lorax.
Right.
Remember in the book when he was like, I am the Lorax and I speak for the trees and also IHOP. And SUVs.
But they also have Grinch pancakes at the IHOP.
Sure do.
That's true. I like the commercial for the Grinch pancakes better. I think that looked funnier than anything I've seen of the actual movie.
10 out of 10.
Where they were like, we're
Best thing they've
we're
done.
gonna get this sicko.
My God. So
Yeah, it says a lot about the Spies in Disguise if we trailed off.
into shitting on
Yeah.
Elimination again.
What a great movie.
Can't wait. Man turned to bird. Funny.
It reminded me of that Storks movie with the awful pigeon character, but they gave the pigeon character its own
Oh
movie.
my God.
Look.
That's what it felt like.
That pigeon character. I was saying this to my sister this morning. Since we saw Spider-Verse, and she and her boyfriend thought that Spider-Ham was the worst. They thought he was absolutely awful.
Oh.
I thought he was good. I liked him, but I will say I feel like if they used him more, maybe it's for the best they kept him to a minimum, because I feel like if they used him any more than they did, he would have clashed too much with the movie and would have felt a little too aggravating. But I feel like what they did with him was perfect.
I could have
I
used more
feel like
Spider-Ham
I
personally,
liked-
but
Yeah, I mean, I could have done with maybe a little more, but I feel like he's a character where a little goes a long way. I feel like if they used him too much, it easily could have brought down the movie. But they used him the right amount, and I feel like that's how I feel about the pigeon and storks. If they used him more than they did, it would have been horrendous.
maybe.
I just feel like the general public's like, ha, that was from The Simpsons.
We need the funny character.
That's the pig from The Simpsons, you guys.
That's the pigeon from The Simp. So that's my thoughts on Spies in Disguise. I thought it could have used more Spider-Ham. And the storks had a pigeon in it, so...
There you go.
If we had a giant wet fart sound effect, that's what I thought of Spies in Disguise.
So these last movies on our list barely have a poster out. So
one of them has 2 posters.
Right. So I guess there's going to be an animated Addams Family movie coming out. I've only seen a piece of concept art from it.
Do we know who's making this movie?
I think MGM is making it. I want to say that. Let's find out.
I think this movie's been in the works for like a long ass time.
Yeah, I
right?
haven't heard anything about it. Wikipedia had it on its list of movies coming out in 2019, so I put it on there. But who is making this?
It's the Duke Nukem Forever of animated movies.
Yeah,
I swear
MGM's
they've
putting
been
this
talking
out.
about it for years and years and years. That's interesting. I mean, the one picture we got for it has me slightly cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I mean the
It'll at least look different.
yeah, I mean the piece of concept art they put out. I mean the art looks very interesting, so I'll give it that much. But I'm gonna need to see like a trailer or something before.
Yeah,
I
we
make
have
any...
literally nothing else to go off of.
Tim Burton.
Is Tim Burton directing it?
No,
I know he was at one point. I think
I don't know who these guys are directing it.
Well, I guess all the better. We can go in with fresh expectations.
At least for now. So we've got one live-action animation hybrid video game movie coming out this year that looks pretty good. And then one that I don't know,
Go
guys.
ahead, JD. Say your real thoughts on Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie.
I just do we need a Sonic movie? Let alone a live-action animation hybrid. Are we?
Yes.
Can't we be past this by now? Like these hybrid movies.
It'll be like the Alvin and the Chipmunks movie where he shit on camera and everyone laugh.
It's just I don't know. It's gonna be the same kind of story where Sonic and Eggman are gonna come to the real world.
They gotta save the rec center.
Hey, Eggman, we gotta team up and save the rec center.
That was scary good. But no, it's and the fact that Jim Carrey is gonna be live action Eggman, why?
Look, I'll wait and judge when I see it. That doesn't sound like something that could work, but you never know.
I know.
Here's the thing about this movie. We don't know anything besides the posters. Who knows? Maybe it's the funniest movie ever made.
That's the thing.
What if Jim Carrey says pingus?
Honestly, I could see that happening because I feel like Sonic is really aware of its memes.
Yeah, that's the thing with this. We haven't seen a trailer for it. All signs point to it being awful, but the thing is we've seen no footage. We know nothing about this movie other than Sonic's
We've just seen a
legs.
vaguely humanoid-looking Sonic in silhouette form, so...
Yeah,
I'm kind of
Sonic's got
disturbed.
legs for days.
I didn't need to see a realistic Sonic.
Yeah, I mean, the poster doesn't do much to alleviate my concerns.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that, if they're going to do this, it's just Sonic and Eggman. I don't want them bringing the entire Sonic crew in there. I don't need Knuckles and Tails and Amy tagging along.
I kind of disagree. I feel like if they're going to... If they want to do this, if they want to do this shit, go all the way with it. Make it as stupid as possible. Get all these horrific monstrosities in here. Or at least Tails. I feel like you could do Tails.
Maybe.
Tails and Sonic.
Yeah. I just feel like it's going to be... Sonic is going to come to the real world through some portal that Eggman
He's going to say, where are we?
Now,
I don't think we're in Sonic the Hedgehog world anymore.
Now,
We're not in Mobius
exactly.
anymore.
If they're gonna go that route, they at least need to give us like cartoony in like how the cutscenes in the games are. We need to get at least that before they're thrust into the real world, like kind of how like Fat Albert did. That's the only way I would accept that.
Let's just make Sonic the Hedgehog Fat Albert 2.
Yeah, exactly. Get Kenan Thompson in here.
Hey.
Gotta go fast.
Retarded.
I like the visual of... Because you guys have seen Fat Albert, right? Like the cartoon?
Yes.
Not the movie. I love Fat Albert's walk cycle. He walks like such a doofus. The animation for him is so weird. I love picturing that at light speed.
Oh my God.
Gotta go fast. And then he goes through the loops. Oh, man.
The movie I never know I needed.
I would see that movie first day.
I love that face when the teacher says retarded. He's just like,
You can't say that word. Hey, that's not okay.
That's not okay. God.
Here's a little tidbit since we're not talking about anything interesting. Everyone thinks Fat Albert came up with hey, that's his catchphrase, but Yogi Bear actually said that first. He'd say, hey, it's me, Yogi Bear. And he came first, I think. Now that I think about it, I don't know.
it was Peggy Hill.
Oh yeah, Peggy Hill was invented first. Where's our live-action King of the Hill movie? Our King of the Hill...
I'd fund it.
Our King of the Hill cinematic universe.
All right, out of curiosity, who would you cast as Head
Shabu.
Kill?
Oh, that's a good... He'd need to be CGI, right? No one can get how he looks down. Get the guy who played Thanos to play him.
I was thinking about that fucking thing earlier where he was like, Shabu, it's my final wish.
That's my favorite. I need to find that again.
Do we know what that was for?
It's just, I guess, to promote the show.
Was it like in theaters
in a movie
or something?
theater. I think so.
That's the best thing.
It's just like, Adele's invisible. It's true.
Oh, I'd see that movie.
Oh my God.
What if they did a live-action King of the Hill movie and it was leading up to that? Like, that was the big final scene. For my last wish, I want everything to go back to normal.
If they went balls to the wall crazy like that for a movie, I think it would be the best movie ever made.
Yeah, it'd be hard to argue. Did you guys do an episode on Beavis and Butthead Do America?
No, but we should.
Put that on the schedule.
I'd love that.
All right,
movie.
Wait, did we talk about that in the MTV episode?
I don't remember if we did or not. I don't think we spent too much. I don't remember. Dustin, I barely remember what I did last week.
Goddamn.
I see how it is.
Yep.
What we all do together as a group of friends is not important to you.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I mean, did you not get that from our interactions?
I'm just making sure we're all on the same page.
You guys mean nothing to me.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Well,
you mean the world to me.
That's obvious daily.
Oh.
Anyways,
Sonic the Hedgehog.
have we not talked about The Missing Link?
Oh,
Because
yeah, where's
that's a
that on
movie
the
that
Oh
list?
shit!
no one
I
seems
totally
to
forgot
talk
about that. Yeah, Leica has a new movie coming out next year.
I
I totally forgot about that.
I don't know how I feel from the trailer, but it's Leica, so I'm sure it'll be great.
That's the thing.
There-
I think
like,
There's not a whole lot of
I think
studios.
it just has a bad trailer.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of studios where I'm like, you know what? This doesn't look or sound like it could be good, but it's Leica, so I'm sure it will be. Not a whole lot of studios I can give that benefit of the doubt to.
that's
Pixar used to be that way.
Yeah, it used to be.
yeah. I don't know. It's like Leica does have a good track record, but they only have 4 movies, and only one of them I'm pretty meh about.
The Box Trolls was pretty awful.
I like the Box Trolls. I'd say it is probably their weakest movie, but I thought it was fine. I liked it. I enjoyed watching it.
Right.
But every studio is gonna have the bad one.
Exactly. You're not going to hit 100 every time.
Yeah, but I think for what it was still enjoyable. I would not say they put out a bad movie.
Yeah. So I think just for the sheer fact of their artistry, that the fact that they're putting this much effort into stop motion, Leica's got a pass for me where I'll just go see whatever they put out.
Exactly.
They haven't done me wrong, at least too bad, yet, so.
Mm-hmm.
They got that Nike funding.
Yeah.
Keep it alive. So.
And there is a movie. There's an Asterix movie coming out, but I guess it came out last year. It looks awesome.
I never
loves
got
him in
into
some
the Asterix
Asterix.
series. I need to read the comics. I need to get more into it. Have you played the game that just came out?
I have all the comics if you want me to send those to you.
Boy, howdy, do I.
And then the Mansion of the Gods that just came out, I think it has Disney animators on
The
it
what?
too. It was the first CG movie they did. It's called The Mansion of the Gods.
Okay.
And
I thought
that one's really good.
I thought that 2D movie they did looked pretty great too. Like,
The Viking one was great too.
good. It seems like a franchise that has very little missteps.
It is fun. I even recommend that video game that came out.
Yeah, that game looks kind of hit and miss for me, but I've played games that looked worse.
It's just a silly beat 'em up game.
Yeah, that's my only problem
That's all
with
it
that's
is.
my only problem with it is it looks maybe a little too mindless and simple, like just walking around beating people up, but
Yeah.
whatever.
You know.
I'm sure I'll get it sometime.
There's a lot of stupid video game references.
Yeah.
Like the breakable walls are Tetris blocks.
They have the Sly
there's a-
Cooper wagon.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
They go a lot more in depth with their video game parodies than just they have the standard Mario, Tetris, haha. But they have the more obscure stuff like Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, and such.
There's a bad guy that has a shield that's Pac-Man.
Yeah,
They're two arm shields.
yeah,
and
that's a cool
I
design.
think it's awesome.
And they have the guys who are like Rayman with the no arms and legs.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, the missing link, Rayman.
What a great movie.
Loved it. No, like I said, trailer was maybe not great, but I'm sure it'll be good in the end.
Yeah. Leica ain't done me wrong, so.
Yeah.
Do you guys really
now-
want to talk about Speculate on Frozen 2?
Yes, let's.
Let's
It's
not.
the
Okay.
movie everyone's looking for. No, we need to talk about it. It's a movie no one's gonna watch your shitty little show if you don't talk about Frozen 2.
Are they gonna do lesbian incest in this movie?
Yes.
Because that's what I'm waiting
honestly,
for.
if Disney decided to okay, fuck it, we're just gonna go all in on this, I think I would, I'd admire them for having the balls to do it.
I hear it's just gonna be 30 minutes of Goatsy.
That sounds better than the first movie, honestly.
Jesus.
Ew. No, I thought the first Frozen was all-rightish.
It okay.
Not alt-rightish, just all-rightish. Nothing after that has been needed. A sequel isn't necessary. I think it's insane how popular it is for how all-right a movie it is.
Would you go as far as to say that Disney should just
Oh
let
my
it go?
god, Kyle. Way to
No, I
take the
wouldn't say
low-hanging
that.
branch.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Did you think of that one all by yourself?
I was thinking about it all day, honestly.
I was waiting to break that one out.
Yep.
Yeah, don't need a Frozen 2. I'm probably not going to see it. Like, the thing is, for Toy Story 4, I'm sure I'll probably still see it, even if I don't think it's necessary. Frozen 2, why? No, I don't need to
I
see
wasn't
it.
invested in the first movie.
No,
It's just like
Olaf.
Secret Life of Pets. Why would I go see a sequel to a movie I don't care
Remember
about?
when they tricked you into seeing Olaf's fucking half-hour adventure before Coco?
Yeah,
That was really
because
cool. That was really
I
cool
worked
of
at
Disney to do.
Yeah, because I was working at the movie theater when Coco came out, and I don't know how many parents come out to complain to me saying, I thought I bought
we
a
in the
ticket to
wrong
Coco. They were showing Frozen 2 so much that we had to put
I paid to see the Mexican
we had to
movie.
put a
Yeah.
sign up saying that there is a 30-minute short in front of Coco. You didn't buy a
Yeah.
ticket to the wrong movie.
More like a long.
Yeah, more like an Olaf movie with a Coco short after it.
I feel like it was supposed to be like an ABC television special, but Pixar didn't have a short film ready to go in time, so they slapped that in front of it.
Yep, pretty much.
So yeah, Frozen
Oh.
2, everybody. Look forward to that.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
I want to see the scene where Elsa does Fortnite dance.
Okay. That's what I'm calling it.
They gotta save the
my
rec.
God.
They gotta save the rec center before it melts.
Jesus.
Anna, we gotta save the rec center.
Oh my god. All
But
right.
Elsa, how do we do that? Well, Anna, we have to sing a song. Let's get our friend Olaf over here. Olaf, get in here, buddy. And then Olaf comes on screen. He just vomits for 20 minutes straight into the audience's stupid idiot faces.
God.
That sounds like an Oscar winner right there.
Of course, it's Disney. It already won the Oscar. It doesn't even need to come out yet.
All the awards.
They already paid it off.
Yeah,
Jeez.
they've got the next 20 years lined up.
Oh, I don't know, man. Spider-Man might beat him out this year.
Hopefully. I mean,
Let's keep your fingers crossed.
here's the thing. Nickelodeon got extremely lucky when Rango was nominated the same year as Cars 2. It won, and for good reason. It deserved it, but it got extremely lucky at its competition.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse has Incredibles 2 against it.
That's true.
And while I think Spider-Verse is better, that is quite a title to be up against.
Yeah.
I think the fact that it won the Golden Globe is very good. That's a good sign.
Yeah, I mean,
It could happen.
Honestly, Spider-Man's going up not only as a Disney movie, but a Pixar movie. So it's got two hurdles to jump.
If it were any other movie, I would say it doesn't have a chance.
Mhm.
Like I don't think Smallfoot is going to be taking home the Oscars.
No, if it gets nominated
But-
at all.
Yeah, if it were any other movie other than Into the Spider-Verse, I would say it was impossible. But
Honestly,
here I think there's
like,
a little chance.
I'm going to call it right now. I'm going to say the 5 movies that get nominated for Best Animated Picture is going to be Spider-Man, Ralph, Grinch, Incredibles, and maybe...
Teen Titans Go to the movies.
No. Oh, Isle of Dogs.
Oh, Isle of Dogs, definitely.
Yeah, I think those are going to be the
Isle of
5.
They need to get that quirky, artsy movie in there.
Yeah, it's like when they nominated the Vincent Van Gogh movie last year, even though it didn't have a
Yeah.
chance of winning.
Well, they usually nominate an anime or a foreign movie too. Are
That's
there
true.
any? There's none on our list, but
Not that I know of.
there was a Shin-Chan movie this year.
Yes, Shin-Chan's going to be vying for the Oscar.
I was just thinking about that the other day. Why haven't they translated any of them?
Well, they stopped translating the series a while back, so I guess they just didn't. I guess there was just no audience for the movies, but it would have been nice if they just did one. I mean, the last season was direct to DVD anyway. It was after Adult Swim lost the rights, so they should have done at least one of the movies.
Oh shit, I didn't know that. I love Shin.
Do you know how much those DVDs go for nowadays?
Yeah, I've seen them at that place Book Off, and even there, it's pretty
The
expensive.
complete season sets are like over $100 used.
Gross.
Fuck.
I think the ones that cut them in half, like season 1, part 1, are only like $20 used, but
Still.
Season 3.5 ish.
Ish.
season 5 and some more of 4.
Alright. Well, boys, we've been
Worst.
doing this for near 2.5 hours. Is there anything you want to say?
No, let's keep
I mean-
going.
I'm down if you are, but
Let's talk about the movie. Let's talk about the movies for
I
2020.
don't know if we know about those yet.
Are there any?
I mean, I'm sure there are some been
I don't know.
announced, but
Let me look up animated movies for 2019 and see if there's any that jump out at me that we didn't talk about.
okay.
17 big animated movies coming to U.S. theaters in 2019.
Oh my god.
I'm sure we talked about most of them.
Probably.
Lego Movie 2, How to Train Your Dragon, Wonder Park. What about that one?
I think I saw the trailer to that, but
Little girl discovers abandoned magical amusement park.
oh yeah, with the animals and shit.
Yeah,
Just like in real life.
just like in the stories. So, Missing Link is coming out in April. I know we kind of interjected it in between a couple other movies, but it's coming out before Ugly Dolls even.
Yeah,
Oh, Shaun the Sheep 2.
I didn't see the first one.
Farmageddon.
I totally forgot that Shaun the Sheep is a direct spin-off of Wallace and Gromit.
It sure is.
Secret Life of Pets 2, Toy Story 4, The Lion King, the quote-unquote live-action remake.
I guess that technically counts as an animated movie.
It's nothing but animation. There's nothing real about it. What do you guys think about this?
They're taking out Be Prepared because it's...
Nazi propaganda?
Yeah. They said no more. Not in my movie.
Ew,
About
yucky.
lions.
I thought the trailer for it was boring. It just looked like the exact same as the first one, but real.
Yep.
But this time, the monsters are real.
Because it's terror time
We need to
again.
review those movies.
I'd be down. Have you guys done an episode on the live-action Scooby-Doo movies?
No.
I have some things to say
I think
about
Cool
those.
Bull sucks.
You're trying to make it look like I think the Ink and Paint Club podcast sucks. I adore the first one. I think it's so funny. Like, to this day, I think it's funny, aside from, like, you know, some scenes that are maybe not so great. I
Yeah.
don't think they needed, like, 2 minutes of Scooby and Shaggy farting, but... You know, I didn't write
They
that
needed
movie.
time to fill.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the thing. All the deleted scenes for that movie are so good. They're all funny. You easily could have cut that scene for all the deleted scenes.
Nah.
Let's see. Abominable. I don't know what that is.
I don't
Formerly
know.
called Everest, is a magical Yeti story in one of Pearl Studios' first projects.
Oh.
After changing...
I haven't seen that before.
So
Yeah.
they're gonna make Smallfoot a year after it came out.
It's like
Oh, yeah.
it's like a Bug's Life and Ants.
I guess.
Or like Newt and Alpha and Omega.
Like,
Man. Well, wait, didn't that get canceled because of
Rio. Yeah.
Which sucked. The artwork for Newt looked really good. I thought it looked wonderful. Who knows if the movie itself would have been good, but the concept art alone has me like, I wish we got that instead.
The world may never know.
Yeah.
Maybe there's an alternate universe.
The Mandela effect, where everyone thinks they got...
Where Newt got the sequels and not Rio.
Yeah, everyone was like, I thought Newt came
Yeah.
out. What's this Rio? And then it turns out Rio was the one that existed the whole time. They're like, what the hell is this? It looks like that's all there is.
Good
There's
job.
a Doraemon movie coming out.
Good night, everybody.
So yeah, there's your 2019 movies, everybody. And if you're still with us after all this, thank you, I guess.
Boy, it sure is looking bleak, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's one or two things that I'm looking forward to, but yeah.
Here's the thing. This the Missing Link movie, it's being directed by Chris Butler, who did Paranorman, which is my favorite Leica movie.
Mhm.
So
Well, that's good.
yeah, that has me a little more optimistic.
Yeah,
Osomatsu-san, the movie is coming out.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, the Queen's Corgi with funny Trump joke.
My
Oh
favorite.
God.
Remember when they make
What was
Trump?
the funny Trump joke?
They kick him out of place
That's dumb.
because Donald Trump bad.
Orange Man bad. 2 scoops.
New bad, old good.
Okay, well, I think that does it for this week.
Yeah. I don't want to be reminded of politics now bleak the world is. Please
Exactly.
don't
Let's
put Donald
go back
Trump
to
in
our
your
happy
animated
place.
movies anymore. Let's just ignore everything politics.
I'm going back to my happy place now.
Yeah, I swear, if they put Donald Trump in Secret Life of Pets 2, I might only see that one time.
Alright. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Thank you guys for being on here, and I'm gonna go sleep now.
Yeah, whatever.
You would thank me.
See you next week, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Ink and Paint Club podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can catch a new episode every week. Also be sure to follow us on our Facebook and Twitter so you can keep up with the show. Links are in the description. We'll see you next week.